If you spent any time in the Tom Ferry world over the last few years, you've probably met Robert Mack. Big energy, bigger smile, the guy who knows everyone in the room before the end of the night. What you may not know is the story behind the personality. Rob is a top real estate agent in Newport Beach, an Ironman finisher, a Vietnam mission worker, a born-again Christian, and one of the most generous people I know. He runs his life by one rule: say yes to the things that scare you. That rule has taken him through a 5-year meth addiction in his 20s, a 20-year marriage that started with a 1-month courtship in Sydney, and an adventure club he founded to drag his friends out of their comfort zone every quarter. In this conversation, we go deep. It starts with how a Fresno kid who never got in trouble ended up clubbing in Hollywood for 3 days straight, dealing on the side, and eventually flying to Australia with a quarter pound of meth in his underwear just to be with a girl. Within a month, he proposed, then spent the first full year they were married lying to her about being clean. He didn't quit on willpower. He quit the day his dealer's phone went dead and never picked it back up. It is a moment he believed was God's closing a door he couldn't close himself. From there, we move into the work that rebuilt him. From Jimmy Rex's men's group, training for the Ironman, mission trips to Vietnam, and the $100 tip club he throws for total strangers. And it comes back to one idea, that being uncomfortable on purpose is the fastest way to becoming the man you actually want to be. This is the kind of story that reminds you the people we usually admire had to walk through fire to get there. Real estate, real faith, a real marriage, and a life he built on purpose. You're going to love this one. Rob, thanks for coming on. All right, let's get started. Hey guys, what's up? It's Paul Salazar. You're watching On Frequency Podcast. I have a special guest today, Robert Mack, the one and only Rob Mack. I've got to know you over the last few years through Tom Ferry. Yeah. Super excited to have you on. You have a really fun, cool story to tell, and I want to get to know you more. I want to get to ask you more questions. I want to get deeper into why things happen in your life, so that we can maybe help somebody out there who's watching this, and I want them to get inspired by your story, because you are the people I have here are people that I'm inspired by, in some form,
Yeah.
And I'm inspired by you in a lot of forms. You're a great guy, you're fun to be around, and you have a really cool story. So thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
this
man.
is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess, this will be more personal and less business, but we'll talk about business too, because, you've created your own business. But let's start with your addiction, because the reason why I started this podcast is to help out men, and men have a major addiction problem. If it's not alcohol, it's not drugs, not porn, if it's not, working, right? It's something to numb themselves from the reality of their life, which is some trauma that happened when they're younger, or something that happened in their life that they can't figure out. And a lot of people just can't really even pinpoint, what that was, But I want to, tell your story and be able to inspire at least one person to be like, oh shit, I'm in his shoes 10 years ago, and look where he's at now. There's a way out of this. So let's talk about your addiction, because you had major addiction problems to drugs. So let's just start there, and we'll just unwind from there.
Sure.
Yeah.
So just start like just how it all started, I guess.
Yeah.
Gosh. So I think, just to preface, I have a very addictive personality. Yeah. Like, I get addicted to good things and bad things. Like, I remember in 2019, my wife was like, hey, try vegan for 40 days. And I did it for 40 days, and I got so addicted to it that I did it for like a year. I was like a nut job. Okay. I get addicted to things that make me feel good or bad. Like, I get addicted to exercise. I love running. I love training. I love getting high. I love pickleball. Yeah. Like, if it makes me feel good, I get addicted to it. Okay. So, fair. I guess the major addiction was speed. That was the major addiction. But it's interesting, because we talk about like running away from problems or trying to hide the trauma by going or doing something that we're addicted to. But like, I think that I had a pretty like perfect childhood. It's really weird. Like, my mom and dad totally loved me, and I went to the best schools, and I had great friends. I never got bullied. I got good grades. Like I was always just like right under the radar for me. But I sometimes think that maybe being an only child or the lack of having trauma is trauma itself. And like it was just too perfect sometimes. And so sometimes it's like, well, if it was so good, why not be bad? I don't know how the subconscious works all the time. But for me, it wasn't like I was running away from anything. So I grew up young adult in Fresno, and it was a slow town. It was a boring town, and I just always loved like action. I always wanted to do something. Like when nightclubs opened up in Fresno and I was anywhere near being able to go, I was like, dude, let's go dancing. Let's go out. Let's hang out with friends. I want to party.
Was that always the case?
Yeah, I love music. I love music. I love people. I think as an only child, I crave relationships because I hate like I'm super pumped today because like we can hang out and just be bros and then I can go home and it'll be a little bit sad leaving because then I'm going home now. It's different because I have a wife and I love her. But as a kid, I'd have to go home and just be with mom and dad.
Oh, that's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
Because you are like, the way I know you is through a Tom Ferry event. Yeah. And you like your aura is big. You got a big smile. You walk around, everybody knows Rob. Yeah. You're on stage a lot, so you do seek that. And
well, like if we were going to go to dinner at Tom Ferry, it'd be like, hey, I'm just going to get a reservation for 12 and I'll figure out the other 11 people that are going. And I just love bigger groups. I love a lot of people. And I hated leaving what I was doing with my friends to go home because I knew that then I was going to be by myself. So I think there's a little trauma there.
Yeah, for sure. Just going home and being alone.
And just being alone. Yeah. So I used to always love hanging out with my friends. We'd go to Starbucks, we'd go to clubs and stuff. But then I was like, like I have cousins in LA. Maybe I'll go visit them in LA. And then I'd learn about these super clubs. And so I moved to LA after I graduated college.
You went to college in Fresno?
Fresno State. And then I graduated and my friend was like, hey, I'm moving to LA to go to Cal Poly Pomona. You want to move to LA? And I was like, well, yeah, I just graduated. I'll go find a job there. And that was it, man. Like I was going to Hollywood and we were going to nightclubs and
wait, where did you move to in LA?
I moved to Monrovia at first.
Okay.
Because we wanted to be near Glendale, Burbank area because that's where most of my relatives were at. But we would drive. We'd drive to Hollywood to go to like clubs. We'd go to downtown. We'd go to clubs. We would just started doing drugs, like just Adderall, just to be able to club longer. That's all it was.
Wow.
Like it wasn't like I was hiding anything or I was running away from anything. It was like, dude, this club is awesome. We want to keep partying. Let's do Adderall. Let's stay awake and let's just go to let's go to after hours. Let's go to after hours. Like I don't want to go home. I just love.
Well, it's the same thing that you're saying earlier.
Yeah.
You didn't want to go back home.
I don't want it to end.
You don't want it to end.
Yeah, and even now, bro, like me and Tanya will go to like a friend's house and I'm just like hanging out, having fun, and she's like kicking me under the table. And then I'm like, what's going on? What? And then like later on, she's like, you didn't see them yawning? Like it was time for us to go. I'm like, I'm sorry, babe. Like I was having a good time and I didn't want to go. And so I'm socially ignorant when it comes to like those types of environments because as an only child, that's all I wanted to do was just hang out with people longer. And I don't know if there's a tie to what I'm telling you and what I did, but when you think about reasons why we do things, I feel like this is the most logical.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So that was it, man. I mean, the long story, the short story is started doing Adderall to go to more clubs, and that just escalated to an addiction, to a point where if I didn't do it, I felt tired and depressed and lonely. And so it was just doing drugs to just feel normal. It got to a point. And that was kind of like.
So okay. Well, let's go back because like I know we kind of skimmed through it and we think that this is the problem here. Not the problem, but maybe the reason why you enjoy going out and seeking, time with people is because you went home. Was there anything about going back home that was? I mean, it was probably just boring. Just boring.
Yeah, just boring. Like I even think about the vacations that we go on. Like I'm more of a let's go to a city and let's explore a city, like San Francisco, Manhattan. Like I like cities. And I've gone on these like tropical vacations with Tanya, and I want to be the guy that wants to relax by the pool, but it bores me to tears. Like I don't want to, I'll just excessively drink at the pool because it's like one of those things where I fidget. And it's so funny because we went to Carrie's 40th birthday party in Palm Springs and I wasn't drinking then, right? So I'll do these things where I'm like, I want to show myself that I have the self-discipline and control. And you know that about me too. I'll just stop drinking or stop doing whatever. And I wasn't drinking. And I must have had like 15 mocktails that day. Just crushing mocktails because it just gives me something to do. Like I just lay there and get a tan. Okay, for how long? So
it's interesting because there's a guy on my team that also he's high. He's anxious. He has a lot of energy. Right?
Yeah.
He's not an only child, but he gets bored easily, and he starts to fidget. And I'm just curious about that. Like, is that just come from just a place of boredom to start fidgeting? Like that's like I want to dive deeper into that. I mean, I don't know if you have the answers to that, but I'm just curious.
I don't know. I just know that I like to be constantly stimulated, and if I'm not being stimulated, then I'd just rather go to bed. So like
your mind is racing.
Yeah.
What happens when you get bored? Like if we sat here for 2 hours, or if you were in this room by yourself for 2 hours without a cell phone, would you like go absolutely?
I'd probably just do things to occupy myself. So like I would stretch, or I'd do mobility, or I would do breathing.
You move your body around.
I would do something. Yeah. I'd stand up and stretch my calf, or I'd do child's pose, or I would do things.
Okay. So there's probably some internal thing, and like this fire inside of you that wants to make you move around or get stimulated with your brain. It's either brain stimulation or body movement to get you going into a place where you're not just sitting there doing nothing, because that will drive you crazy.
Yeah. I mean, if you were like, you can't do anything, you have to just sit there. I mean, I'll do it. I can do it I don't know about how long I could do it for. But like, if I had the choice, I'd be like, well, why not just like kill two birds with one stone?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I just stretch? It's good for my body. Why wouldn't I do like 20 push-ups while I'm waiting? And then when I get out of here in an hour, like I've done something good. So I don't know. I think like not multitasking, but being efficient and getting, like when we go on trips, on vacations, I love to squeeze as much activity into that trip as possible, so that when we leave, it was like maximum impact. And Tanya's like, dude, keeping up with you is so challenging, because like I'm a girl, like I need to go back to the room and I need to like do this and do that and do this. And she's like, you're just like being so selfish. You just want to go back and change your shoes and leave. And she's like, I got stuff I got to do. And girl things I got to do. And so I'm like, okay, well, how long is that going to take? Yeah. So yeah, I think that's one thing about me that I've recognized, and something that I'm actively pursuing, changing. So I like, Tanya and I went for our 10-year wedding anniversary. We went to the Maldives for 10 days.
Where you have the houses on the water?
Yeah, yeah. Dope. Where like, because there's 150 micro islands out there. And the island that we were on, like from one end to the other end was, I don't know, like a 6-minute walk. No commercial.
I'm excited to hear this story.
There was no commercial at all. Like there was no space. Like they had a gift shop.
Yeah.
They had a couple restaurants, a couple bars, and then all you did was just chill. And by day 3, I was like having a panic attack. I'm like, how am I going to do this for 10 days? Even Tanya by day 7 was like, dang, dude, we need, like, so if she's losing her mind, I'm going crazy. And I ruined it. I ruined the trip. Every day I was just selfish and was trying to find ways to like stay occupied. And she was like, I'm just chilling. Can you? So I owe her.
So she wanted to chill.
Yeah. Okay. She'll go by the pool and read for 3 hours.
Do you read?
I can't. I do audio books. Like I try to read, and then my brain will start going to another place where I'll start thinking about other things, or I'll start reading the words in the book on the page to like a song that I like. And now I'm like singing this song in my head and not even internalizing the words. And then I'm like, I need to go back a few pages because I didn't get any of it. So I like audiobooks when I drive. But she's like, I'm going to go to the pool and read for 3 hours. So I was like, what am I going to do for 3 hours?
So you don't meditate, obviously.
I don't meditate. Yeah. No, I would say the closest thing I do to meditation is prayer. So I do prayer every morning. I read the gospel in the morning. I have my time with God and I pray. I want to do it longer. And then I have been doing a lot of mobility. And so with mobility, it's like, holding these positions for 45 or 60 seconds. And I've never been a stretcher. I've never been a guy that liked to warm up. And now as I'm getting older and still very active and have no pain and no injury, I want to keep it that way. And
it's like yoga.
Sort of, yeah. So I just find myself like breathing through these holds, and that really does calm me down. Like when I have anxiety about life, whether it's bills or a deal or my relationship, if I sit around, it'll eat me alive. I'll just do mobility. I'll do 20 minutes, 40 minutes of mobility. And that's my way of breathing through the stress and the anxiety. And that usually helps. So I want to say yes to meditation, but not your typical form of like.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about, I know the answer to it.
This.
Because like I've been wanting to do a silent retreat where you go somewhere, no phones.
Yeah.
And there's like people there, but you can't talk to them.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
You're in your own mind. And what I heard is that there's so much information that you can download when you have that time to just be with yourself with no distractions. It's just like a meditation, right? It's for like 3 days, and you can and you let your body kind of just tell you all the things that you want to work on.
Yeah.
And so I find that really fascinating because like I am also high energy, but I also like to read. I journal. I haven't gotten into meditation yet, but I do enjoy reading. It took me a long time to start reading. Like I was maybe like 15 years of my life I didn't read a damn book. Maybe blogs, but like quick. Maybe like a few pages of blogs. But I am enjoying reading now. It's a time for me to relax. But I do believe that if you can quiet your mind, that there's answers there for you to look into about your life, and also like insights about your business, about anything, because you let your ego and your mind go away, and you're kind of more into your body. And I'm just curious to find out if you've ever kind of thought about that, because you've done a lot of personal work.
I've experienced that. So I've never done a silent retreat. I've heard of them. To be honest with you, I'm actually trying to stop saying to be honest. I think it's the stupidest thing to say. I'm just trying to get that out of my head. So I've actually, the last couple of years, I'd heard about it a couple of years ago through my men's group. And it's something that I'd be interested in exploring. I know it would push me out of my comfort zone, and I am a big fan of that. Yeah. I do love doing hard things that'll challenge me because I know there's growth. I have personally experienced what you're talking about through exercise. So when I did my Ironman, you're not allowed to have audio in your ears for the Ironman.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
So you're not allowed to.
That's cool.
Do people do it? Maybe. But my understanding was you can't have headphones. And so I trained the majority of the time without headphones so that on the day of, I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I need my music. Because when you run for 3 hours or 4 hours, or you ride a bike for 7 hours, it's nice to have some beats, right?
Yeah. A distraction from your mind being like, I'm exhausted.
Yep.
I want to quit.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And or a beat, like a cadence, right? So you're like pumped up and running. And so when I was training with it, like it really started hitting me in the water, because I was like, okay, I can't wear earphones in the water, so I just have to swim for 2 hours with nothing. And so when I swim for 2 hours, I'd run for 4 hours. I would ride my bike for 7 hours. I wouldn't have it, and I never talked to anybody ever. I never even opened my mouth.
That's a great meditation.
And
for sure.
So there was so much clarity that I got from those rides that I didn't talk to anybody, but I would actually have to pull over because I had so many ideas in my brain that I have to write them in my phone.
Yeah, before you forget.
Before I forget. Yeah. And I would literally go on a 7-mile ride and come back with like 15 takeaways.
Amazing.
So 100%. My buddy Greg Cummings in San Diego does this thing where it's called a 12, I can't remember the name of it, 12-hour walk.
Yeah.
You just walk for 12 hours. And he was like the insight, the clarity I got.
12-hour walk.
12-hour walk.
Wow.
Just Google it. It's called something. There's something behind it.
But and no earphones or anything.
No. 12-hour walk, just you and yourself, and the insight, the clarity you get, you start working through things and problem solving things. So yeah, some of my best ideas would come from a 2-hour run or a 2-hour swim or a 5-hour bike ride. Yeah. So I couldn't imagine it's like a 3-day retreat, right? 3-day retreat. Like
they have 7 days, 10 days. I mean, they have all kinds of different, amount of time for that.
Yeah. I like the idea of that. I like it because it's just so opposite of the end of the spectrum where all we're doing is thinking and talking. And now it's just like you eliminate that. So,
well, I had Jake here, Jake, my friend Jake. and he also is same, really a lot of energy, right? And he had an addiction to LSD, to acid, in high school. He did it, I think, for like 2 months straight. And I was asking him about that. It's like, why'd you do it for so long? He also has addiction issues. He recently quit alcohol.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I know
you,
that.
you
He
saw
looks
him.
great.
Yeah, he looks amazing, and he's had a complete transformation. Um, but I was asking him about that because he's not an only child. But I wanted to find out, where do you get this anxiety from? And he was thinking about, like, his childhood, and he's like, I had a pretty good childhood too. Like, parents were not divorced; they were still together. But he said that he started to feel anxious about what happened to him after he died. Like, he was like, he didn't understand what that looked like, and that gave him a lot of anxiety, you know. Um, and I'm always curious because the guy on my team, he was a twin, and so he came out of the womb late, and he was blue. Like, they didn't know if he could live for the first 7 days of his life. So, like, we can go back to those things, and I think for you, and the reason why I'm going deeper, because I'm just really curious,
Yeah.
like, where this all started, this, like, energy that you have, to, like, do things and get things done, because you're like, you get a lot of stuff done. You have your own business, you do all kinds of things. You did the Ironman, which is amazing. You started doing boxing, like, I think a year or two ago, like Muay Thai or whatever.
I like doing new things.
Yeah. You like doing new
definitely,
things.
I definitely
You
like doing new things. I
you
like to be
to challenge
stimulated.
yourself.
I like to
Yeah.
use different parts of my brain, like even just weird things. Like I've been reading about, like brushing your teeth with your left hand.
To stimulate the brain. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like to do things that, when I tell somebody I'm doing something, it actually gets me high when they're like, "That's crazy. I would never do that." Yeah. And then a lot of times too, like when I jumped off that cliff, right, and I quit smoking forever, and people are like, "I could never do that. That's the scariest, craziest thing on the planet." And I'm like, "I'll be honest with you. Like, if you did it and you showed me this video, I would say the same thing. That's crazy. I would never do it. But doing it, I'm like, bro, you got to do it. It's unbelievable." And that's the cool thing about, like, fear or just doing hard things, is that, our brains are constantly lying to us. You decide you want to do something, and immediately your brain will create a story around how it's going to go. And most of the time, the majority of people won't do something because what their brain is telling them. And so when you are like, "I would never jump off a cliff. If the rope breaks and I die, I don't want to die, and it's scary and I can't do it." And then you do it, and it's the most exhilarating thing you've ever done. Then you start to go, "Well, I wonder what else I've been lying to myself about." And that is something that gets me excited. Like when somebody's like, "Well, will you hold a tarantula?" And I'm like, "Well, gosh, I'm kind of terrified of spiders, but I mean, I think I'd hold one because it would be scary and I'm pushing beyond my fears. And I bet you it's not as bad as I think it is." And so now that's one of my new things. It's like, I want to go hold a tarantula. I'm literally nervous about it, but like,
you're not letting fear get in between you and whatever you want to get to.
Yeah, I want to be able to enjoy all of life to the fullest. And I just think that a lot of people won't do certain things because of a narrative. And every time I do something scary, I bust that myth, that narrative myth. Yeah. And if you're at all into like Tony Robbins, like that's a big thing. Like we all create these stories around what we think will happen, and then we create a life around the story that we create, when the whole time that story is probably false. Yeah. And so what are we holding? What are we not doing because of these false narratives?
Where did you get that from?
Tony Robbins.
That was like your first inspiration to like
stories.
Getting past the stories part. Okay.
Yeah.
When was that? How
2020.
2020. Oh, so recently.
Yeah.
Well, 5 years ago.
Yeah. 2020 was when I started like realizing that I just was making up stories. Like literally I'll decide to do something, and then I'll say it, and then out loud I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that is such a story. You're such a liar. It's not gonna go down that way at all."
So you're very self-reflective.
Lately,
or more recently.
Yeah, I would say in the last like 5 years. So like Tony Robbins opened up my eyes to like just the way I interact with my brain and my goals, and then joining that men's group and really understanding me personally at the deepest level. Like, before that men's group, I didn't realize how selfish I could have been. Before that men's group, I didn't realize that like I was a horrible listener. I'm a problem solver, and a lot of times I don't deal well with challenging situations. And if somebody comes to me and says, bro, my dad died, like if it was 5 years ago, I'd try to find a way to say something that's going to make them feel better. And now it's like, I don't need to say anything to need to make them feel better. Like, I could just like be there for them and hug them and not say anything.
Yeah.
Or I could just, so holding space, right? And so holding space and listening, like one of the biggest ahas I learned was at a marriage retreat through my We Are the They men's group. And the guy said, well, when you get home and your wife asks you or your spouse asks you how your day was, when the woman asks, they want to bond. They don't care how your day was. When a guy asks, they're looking for information. So if I ask anybody anything, it's usually that's what I want to know. But when a wife or a woman asks, they just want to bond. And so getting out of my head and not just answering the question and saying, like, oh, it was good, I did this, this, and this, to like, just talk. She just wants to connect.
Yeah.
And so that's all happened in the last 5 years. But the last 3 years, I've seen the biggest growth. And so now, even when I was meeting Christoph for lunch today, I was like just praying before, and I was like, God, thank you for creating this opportunity for me. It's been 3 years. We've been talking about going to lunch, because I'll tell you why I did this, because I was feeling a little anxiety. Okay. I don't know him that well, right? I'm going to spend a couple hours with somebody. Yeah. Like I'm a gap filler. I've learned that. So
it probably comes from your anxiety.
So
you don't like that like silent space.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for me, like I'll try really hard to like keep the conversation going, and that stresses me out. Instead of just asking an authentic question and listening and being curious about the answer, I'm like thinking about my next question because I'm like freaking out, right? Yeah. So I was like, God, thank you first of all for making this happen. I've wanted to meet with Christoph for 3 years, and I'm so excited. I said, just give me the boldness to ask awesome questions, and give me the patience to listen intently and be curious about his situation, and just be open to learning something cool from somebody cool, and remove the pressure. And we had an awesome lunch.
Yeah. And that's what I try to do here when I'm interviewing. It's like, I already kind of know you, and I kind of know a little bit about your story, but I also kind of want to flow and see, and just get curious and not have something in my mind. Cause I have done that in the past, where when I have interviews, I'm like, I don't know the person. Like, the good thing is, like, I know you, so like I feel really, really comfortable with you.
Yeah.
But I've had people here that I don't really know that well, Yeah. So like, you start getting anxious and seeing, like, because you don't want that person to feel kind of awkward too when there's like a moment of silence.
Yeah.
But when I had Jay here, who was my first interview, Jay Spall.
Yeah.
There was a couple times where I just kind of sat there. I'm like, Jay, give me 1 second. Let me just see what's coming up. And I'm really trying to because what you're talking about is also being intuitive.
Yeah.
Let your intuition kind of guide you and be more curious, because your intuition wants to connect with somebody else naturally, right? So when you're with that person, you want to let your intuition ask questions and get more curious.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been really into recently is like, what is intuition? How do I understand what it is? How do I know when it's fear and when it's not fear? And when it's just pure, just intuition? Like, what does that feel like? Do you ever get curious about intuition?
I do. I'm still trying to tap into it. Okay. Like, that's why I stopped doing podcasts, to be honest, man. I feel like they were coming out good, but I was a head case. I would like literally come up with like printed questions, and I would try to have this flow. And if it didn't go the way it was on the paper, I'd get like frustrated. And I envy people that do podcasts, because I know it's not easy to keep a conversation going authentically and organically,
Well, especially if you don't know that person too.
Yeah, if you don't know them well.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just, I don't know, like everybody's got such a cool story. And if you just take a moment and ask the right questions, the information you could get would be just, mind blowing. Like, even, I mean, just to go back to my lunch, right? Because it just happened so recently, but I learned things about Christoph that I never thought I'd learn, just because I was asking questions. I think great questions can lead to great answers, and so getting better at that.
Yeah, and there's a couple components from that. One component is that you have to be really curious, right? Because when you're really curious, like a child, why? They're always asking. You're like, relax. Like a typical child. How can we get into that like child mode when we're just super curious? Oh, like, why does that like plane? How does that plane fly in the air? And how does that happen, Dad? And
Yeah.
why? And there's people in there? Like, why are there people in there?
Yeah.
You know, just be a child.
Just trying to
almost.
learn. Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to learn.
Authentically curious.
Right? Yeah, yeah. But there's also like a skill set when it comes to like doing interviews, right? Like
No, it is. There's a flow, and it takes time and it takes practice.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy to like not only have an organic conversation, but also like keep a flow for the audience to be engaged.
Yeah, for sure. And I've been looking at like how to tell a good story, you know. And Tom does a good job at that, you know, because like Tom is a good speaker.
Yeah.
And it's like you want to like start with like what were the struggles and like how that happened and like how you got past the struggles and then like how you triumphed and how you doing afterwards. You know, that's like a typical story.
The hero story.
Yeah, exactly.
The hero's journey.
Yeah, exactly. Hero's journey, right? But also it's like it's hard to do that because your life is not like this. It's like this.
Yeah.
Like almost everybody's life is like this, you know, ups and downs. And ideally it's like this where you're like, you're advancing to a higher frequency. You're getting better. You're maturing. You're like finding out new things, and you're just going up and down, up and down. It's like the whole J curve, you know, with like Tom. He's like you're getting better at this, and then you try and do something new. And you go back down, you go back up higher, right?
Yeah.
And so like when I see your life, I feel like that's kind of how your life has been, right? Like you were addicted to speed for how long? How many years?
Like 5.
5 years. And I remember you telling me this story of like how often you were doing it, and you were like it was almost like every single day.
Oh, almost. It was every day, every dude, like just all day.
All day long.
All day, just it never enough.
And the fact that you look like you haven't done any drugs in your life is pretty crazy.
Well, you know what's interesting? I watch a lot of YouTube, and I was watching this video on like just the power of the body, and it was talking about, it says you can get somebody who's 60 years old that's never worked out a day in their life, and you have them work out every day for a year with a specific plan. By the end of that year, they'll look like they've worked out their whole life. And the same in reverse. If you get somebody who's 60 that's worked out every day of their life, but they stop working out for 1 year, they'll look like they've never worked out. Mm-hmm. And so
the body doesn't.
You know, it's incredible. It's incredible that the body is so resilient. But you know, it's interesting because like I want to say like I wasn't your typical drug addict. Like, yeah, there would be days where I wouldn't sleep because we had stuff to do and we were hanging out and we were partying. But like I would find opportunities to sleep. You know, I would try to sleep. I would find opportunities to eat.
I would find
opportunities to eat
in 5 years.
Like literally, we'd go to this. We'd party. So it would start on Friday night, and we'd go to Spun Day in Hollywood.
Spun Day.
It was at the Circus on Santa Monica, and we'd go there from like I don't know.
The Circus in Santa Monica.
No, it was called the Circus. But it was the name of the venue.
On Santa Monica Boulevard.
Santa Monica, yeah. And we'd go there at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock on Friday, and that'd go till 4. And then at 4 o'clock, we'd leave and we'd go to Santa Monica and Virgil. And there was a place called The Garage. And The Garage would open at 6 a.m. and it would close. It was called Last Man Standing. So it would close whenever we closed, whenever we were done. Sometimes we'd go till 3 in the afternoon.
And you were dancing the whole time?
Dancing, partying,
talking,
socializing,
chilling,
just,
yeah.
And
having fun.
Just having fun, man.
Yeah.
Just it was a very unique crowd. And you know me, bro, like I'll work the room. You put me in a room with politicians, or you can put me in a dark room at 8 in the morning after 3 days of partying. I'll work the room. Like I'm like a butterfly. And after the club, everybody would be like all cracked out and trying to go to like the next club or the next house party. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go across the street and grab a burger. And they're like, you're hungry? I'm like, no, not at all. I'm not hungry at all. Uh-huh. But I know that I haven't eaten anything for like a day and my body needs fuel.
Yeah.
And so I was weird like that. Like,
you're not your typical.
I'd go to the store and get like milk, and they'd be like, what are you drinking milk for? I'm like, because it's got fat, carbs, and calories, and we haven't had anything for like.
So you're like your brain is still intact. Everybody else is cracked.
Yeah, they're I know people that did the stuff we were doing, and by 12 months in, they're like losing teeth and they're homeless and they're robbing places to get money.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I would figure after 5 years, Rob.
Well, so I'm an only child, right? So I was living at the time. My parents had a house, so my expenses were low, and I was doing odd and end jobs just to make enough money to kind of like live my personal expenses, like cell phone, gas, like low level stuff.
Yeah, $2,000 a month, which is like,
Sometimes not even, maybe 1,500, right?
And you were living alone.
Yeah.
Okay. So like nobody knew what the fuck you were doing. Like your parents had no idea that you were like partying like this intensely.
No. I mean, there was micro moments where like they would find paraphernalia and they'd be like, "What is all this?" I'm like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Like I was messing around, but I quit." Like I would always lie about it. I was a great liar, and even to this day, they don't know the full true story. Like I never sat down and said, "Hey, here's what I did."
Hope they don't go on YouTube.
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
All right. So they've never heard the story?
No, they never have. And maybe if they see this and they ask me about it, I'll talk to them about it.
Okay. All right.
But because it's over, this happened 20 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. There's nothing wrong with it.
And for me, I was always like I'm a people pleaser, right? So people, parents, don't matter. I want everybody to be happy with me. I always tried hard at school. I always got good grades from elementary school all the way. I mean, dude, I used to get in trouble all the time, but I'd get in trouble because I was like a chatterbox. Like they'd be like, yeah, like your son he likes to talk to the kids. I mean, I always got my homework done, but I always talk. Like I'd finish it and then I'd be like talking. They're like, yo, you can't talk like other people. So that was like the worst thing I did. Like I didn't do anything bad. And I wanted to please my parents. And so, I didn't want to become a drug addict, but my life led me to getting to a point where I was completely in need of speed to feel normal. And did
you feel low at that point? Were you depressed?
I don't think I have a depressed personality type.
Yeah, no, I don't feel that an inch of you.
Like there are moments where I've felt sad. There are moments where I felt like I would never, like there were times where I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to quit, dude. I don't know what I'm going to have to do to be able to feel normal. Like I'm terrified. There was moments of fear, but I was never like down and depressed. Like, dude, I'm just so optimistic. Like I just believe that I'll be all good. And maybe that's ignorant or naive. But even now I'm born again, right?
Yeah.
So I'm born again Christian. So in the last 2.5 years, I've spent more time reading the Bible and praying and trying to go deeper in my faith than my whole life before. And I believe totally that God will always meet my needs. So
what was the catalyst? Because I brought you in because I wanted to find out more about the story, but there's not a lot about the story. I mean, the fact is that you really enjoy the social aspect and speed was your way into longer periods of that.
To connect with other people too.
Exactly.
Like,
that was your goal,
my friends would hang out with me for like 8 days.
Yeah.
Like it never would end.
Yeah.
And that was like ultimately like I loved it. Like they're like, hey, after the club, I'm like, hey, you just want to come over? We'll just hang out. Or I'll go to your place, but it would never end. And so, and I never really thought about that, but that's it. Like my goal was to always be around people, and the medium was drugs at the time. Right. And I loved it. I loved the vibe. I loved going to the clubs. I loved going to like Hollywood at night and dressing up and dancing and meeting people and making exchanges and feeling high and loving the beat. And then like, I just loved it. I just loved everything about it. But yeah, I never.
So what was the moment in time where you just like quit? Like what was that? Was it like this? Was it just like holy crap? I just wasted 5 years of my life, or was it just like you were feeling sick? Like how was your body reacting to all these drugs for 5 years? Were you overweight?
I've always been a little bit like thick. Okay. I would say there's micro moments in my life where I've gotten lean. 2025, mark my words, bro. Like I just want to see my body without this layer of fat. Like
six pack.
It doesn't necessarily need to be a 6-pack, but like I've been doing a lot of mobility. I'm doing a lot of planking, and I can feel the strength in my body. I just want to see what that strength looks like for once. Yeah. Underneath Pilates that layer of fat.
You gotta do Pilates,
I do like Pilates. I've done it. I've done Pilates. I like it. Reformer.
Yep.
But what was I saying? What was I going with this?
I was asking you. Was there a moment in time?
So basically, in 2005, I met my wife. Okay. And I believe this was all God. The bottom line, I was dating a girl. It was a super toxic relationship. I was going deeper into my addiction with her. And so one day my friend calls me, a guy that I used to party with, Armenian guy. And he's like, hey bro, my cousin's flying in from Australia and she's bringing her best friend. You want to hang out? I heard she's pretty. And I was like, I'm down. And it wasn't even about that. It's just he wanted to hang out. I was down to hang. He could have brought 2 other guys. I wouldn't have cared. Yeah. So they came to party and they came to visit America, but they were going to go to Vegas for the weekend. So they wanted to have a few party favors. And so when they asked him, he's like, oh, my friend Rob will have some stuff for you guys, right? So I was the drug dealer,
okay,
right? The token drug dealer. Right? I always had extra. I mean, I low level sold drugs too. I would always get enough for me and the people that I wanted to spend time with, and I would sell it to them. So I guess that made me a drug dealer.
Yeah.
I was telling my friend the other day, I'm like, I wasn't really a drug dealer, but I did buy extra and sell it to my friends. They're like, yeah, dude, that's a drug dealer.
Yeah, that is. I've also sold, some drugs to friends, like.
But you're not like a dealer, right? So it was like a courtesy relationship. Well, at any rate.
Yeah, whatever.
So,
but you're not doing it.
It's not like a high level operation, bro. No. Like I'm not on like for that. I'm not on there. I'm not like on the FBI's radar,
no,
right?
Not
like
not.
Maybe very, after this one. Very low level operation, right? Like just a little. And so he calls me. He's like, "Hey, bro. So we're gonna come over. We're gonna get some stuff." And she came in, Ladia, my buddy Sam, and then Tanya. And I was like, "Wow, she's really pretty." Did the thing, whatever. 2 weeks go by. He calls me up. He's like, hey, bro, Tanya's going back home tomorrow. We're going to do like a going away party. And that was when we clicked. We talked, we clicked.
You guys went to Vegas though.
No, this was actually, the funny thing is remember I told you about that place called The Garage on Santa Monica and Virgil? Yeah. It had switched. It was something different now. Okay. It was a different place. It was like a reggae club. Okay. We actually went, that's where we hit it off. We connected, we talked, and like one thing led to another. And this was 2005. I was like, well, dude, you're going back to Australia. Like maybe you can give me your number or your email or something. Like social media wasn't a thing, bro.
It wasn't, yeah.
And so I got her home phone number.
A landline.
And she gave me her email, dude. So I started emailing with her.
She had no cell phone.
No, I started emailing with her. No, she did have a cell phone, but like it wasn't like you couldn't FaceTime or Viber.
It was international.
Bro, I had to go to the gas station and buy a card and put this like 37 number code in to have like a balance. That's cool. Bro.
That's cool.
So I was calling and I was emailing and we stayed in touch, and a month goes by and I go, Dad, I met this Armenian girl. She's Armenian, by the way, which is crazy because I'm Armenian. I'm like, I met this Armenian girl and I want to go visit her. And he's like, you're going to go bring her back and marry her? I was like, well, geez, man, like relax. We just met. And he goes, I'll pay for it. And I was like, oh, well, great. Cause I don't have any money. So I go to Australia and
this is 5 years into your drug use.
Yeah. I'm a full blown addict.
Okay. 5 years into it, you're full
blown addict.
Okay. Does she know?
Yes.
Okay.
We partied together.
So she knows that you're doing this.
I'm a holiday fling at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
We're just
having fun.
So I tell her I'm coming, and she's like, okay. And I go for 5 weeks. That's how much of an idiot I am. I don't even book a hotel. I'm just like, I'm gonna stay with you. Is that cool?
But prior to this, so you guys hit it off. She left the next day.
Yeah.
Or like a day after or whatever. And then you guys had phone calls. And
emails
they were good.
And stuff.
And emails.
Yeah, we just talked.
But you were hitting it off there.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to go visit you.
I want to go visit you.
Okay.
And I never even said like, should I get a hotel? I just assumed she'd let me stay at her house. That's how much of an ignorant person I was. I was like, I'll just stay. So this is the craziest story, bro. So she's like freaking out because she's like, we live in a 3-bedroom house. I got a brother and a sister. Where is he going to stay? He's a drug addict. Like, this is crazy. And
drug addict.
Literally like a week before I'm flying out to Australia, her uncle calls her. Her uncle lives in this community called Northbridge, which is a very affluent area. It's basically like Beverly Hills, right?
In Australia.
In Australia, in Sydney, on the outskirts of the city. And he has a 10,000 square foot property on the water. Oh. And he calls her. He's like, hey, listen, I need a favor. He's like, I'm taking my family to Armenia for the next 5 weeks.
I need you to house sit.
And I need you to house sit.
What? God, bro.
Bro, God. So I roll up to this and I was like, this is where I'm staying? Walk in, ocean. Like, I'm not ocean. He lives on the bay. It's like the bay to the ocean, but it's water view, bro. He's got a boat down there. He's got a slip. And I'm like,
out of here.
I was like, I hit the jackpot. This lady, this is crazy, bro.
And you staying with her?
Her and I just stayed in that 10,000 square foot house by ourselves. Actually,
for 5 weeks?
To make the story more complicated, I actually ended up taking a friend. Because
what?
Because I was nervous. No, I was nervous that if it didn't work out, what am I going to do? So I brought a friend, and the house was so big, he stayed in one of the rooms. And then he stayed for a couple weeks and left. And then her and I were by ourselves for the remaining 3 weeks. But basically at that moment, she's like, look, like, if we're going to do this, you can't be the way you are. And I was like, okay.
How old are you this time?
27.
Okay.
26.
Okay.
So I had taken like, I don't know, I had taken maybe a quarter pound of meth with me
On the flight.
on the flight
Oh my gosh.
in my underwear.
Oh my god.
And it wasn't to sell. It was because
Yeah.
I'm like, 5 weeks is a long time. I don't want to run
Yeah.
out. And when she's like, you can't do this anymore, you need to get your act together, I said, well, then find me somebody to sell it to, and I'll sell it all. And she ended up doing it. The crazy thing is I sold it for literally 20 times more than what I paid for it, because in Australia, they don't get that kind of stuff. It's an island.
Yeah.
So I crushed it. I made like thousands. Like it was like seven. It was crazy. I can't even tell you the amount of money I got. And then I fell asleep for like 2 weeks.
Then you what?
And then I fell asleep for like 2 weeks.
You fell asleep.
For like 2 weeks.
Because your body was just like,
I didn't have any. I had my dopamine, my serotonin, my body wasn't producing anything.
Whoa.
And I was just tired and lethargic.
At the house? With her? And you're just going through
I
like
literally would go
withdrawals?
to sleep for 12 hours and wake up, have like a bunch of food, and then go back to sleep for 12 hours.
Were you sick?
No, just tired.
Wow.
No energy. Not wanting to do anything.
But that's it. But like
That's
you
it.
weren't having like headaches or like
Nope.
withdrawals and
Nope.
feeling like anxious.
Nope.
Or,
So I totally, after 2 weeks, I was like, wow, this is great. And I was like, I did it. And then we hung out the last week. It was beautiful. And then I fly home, and the minute I land, the minute I get back to my house, I had a safe in my house, and I opened it up, and I had some in there, and I go, I won't hurt if I do this. And boom, I got addicted again.
Oh shit.
I got addicted again. And
man.
I basically, so to kind of wrap this story up, I
No,
I
that's
did
a
it.
good story.
I did it for a year without her knowing. For a whole year. Even as a real estate agent, my first year in the business, I used to go at Century 21, go into the bathroom, and I would smoke meth in the bathroom for a year. And then after a year...
But did she come visit you or what?
No, she actually, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. So after I came back, a month later, she flew to visit me, and we got married within a month.
Wow. Married within a month.
Yeah.
So you guys were both really in love. It was just like,
It just felt right. We looked at
Yeah.
each other and we were like, let's just do this.
wow.
And she, at the time, she thought I was sober, and I wasn't. I was lying to her. And for a year, I did it. And then the way it stopped,
She
bro.
had no idea.
She didn't.
What is speed like? I mean,
It's an amphetamine. It's amphetamine.
I've done ecstasy, right? And
Yeah.
there's probably speed in there.
There's a lot of speed in there. Yeah. So
Okay.
speed is not, I don't want to say speed isn't euphoric. It is in the beginning. But once your body gets used to it, it's really just a stimulant.
It's like Molly.
No, because Molly's very euphoric.
Yeah, it's like heart.
Like there's joy and
Yeah.
happiness and everything. In the beginning, when you do speed, you do have euphoric feelings. But after a while, it's really just like, let's go, let's get ready. I'm focused. I want to do this. I want to do that. I got to be there.
It's
just
it's like Adderall.
it's exactly like Adderall. Adderall is pharmaceutical grade methamphetamine, right? It's amphetamine. It's the same thing. So, in the beginning when you do it, you're like, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. One of the most addictive ways to do it is actually, other than injecting yourself, which I never did, was to smoke it.
On the spoon, like the.
No, that's heroin.
Oh, that's heroin.
Like, yeah, so it's a glass pipe. You put the crystal rocks in the glass pipe. You heat the pipe, and then it turns into steam, and you smoke the steam, and you can't even feel it. But then dude.
So a years ago, so she's living with you. You guys are married. You're
Yeah.
lying to her.
I'm lying to her.
You're back into this addiction. You're
All in,
You're,
yeah.
you're in real estate. You're living at your parents' house.
No, I'm actually, I'm living with my parents.
Parents' house, but your parents are not living there.
No,
they're still
it's
in
like
Fresno.
it was a second house for them. Yeah,
Okay, second house for them, and then you got into real estate because of what?
because I tried to find a job when Tanya and I connected. I tried to find a job, and everybody was like, "What have you been doing for the last 5 years? You have a gap in your work history." And I just couldn't overcome that objection. People weren't willing to, unless I wanted to get a crappy job. But I had a college degree, and I was a smart guy, and I was actually currently a drug addict. So I was high all the time. So I don't know if they could tell, and then my credit was horrible because I you know, I just did a lot of stupid things financially.
Yeah.
And so they'd run your credit and they're like, yeah, we don't. So I couldn't get a job. So actually one of my friends that I used to go to clubs with and Tanya both recommended I explore real estate as a way to do something that nobody could tell me yes or no to.
Yeah. They're not running your background.
I don't have a background, any issues on my background, even though this podcast was another couple hours, I could tell you about like 15 different stories around how I skated from getting arrested, or even killed. Like it's crazy the scenarios that I was in. Like I can't believe I don't have a record. Like I've been pulled over with so much drugs, and if they would have just searched my car, I'd be in jail for 20 years, and they never did. Just so many crazy stories, and I truly believe, even though I wasn't a believer back then, I wasn't not a believer, but I wasn't like actively believing. I feel like God had my back, dude. Like, cause it's crazy. And one of my best friends who lived with me for 6 months of my 5-year addiction, he came, moved in with me, got addicted for 6 months. And after 6 months was like, yo, this is too much. I can't handle you. And he moved back and we're still best friends today. He's like, how did we survive that? I'm like, God, bro.
How many of those people during those days are messed up for life?
I don't know, man. I am telling you, I had one buddy that after 6 months of being with us went crazy and we never saw him again. So it affects different people differently.
Different ways,
but I you know, because of my parents, I always had a home to sleep in. I always had a roof over my head. I always had enough money for food. I made smart decisions and I would force myself to sleep and eat different things. And that's why I still have all my teeth. And I never really like scratched myself or had sores. Like I never looked like it other than the color of my skin. I looked very malnourished because I wasn't really taking care of myself.
You weren't getting sunlight.
I wasn't taking care of myself. But dude, ultimately the way I quit was, we left LA to move to Orange County. And so every time I wanted to connect, I'd have to go to LA. And, I only had one person that would take care of me. And one day I called and the phone went to like, this phone's no longer in service.
God, again. Dude, no way. That was the reason why
it was just no longer in service. And I didn't know who else to call or how else to get it, because when I had moved from LA to Orange County, I'd removed the people in my life out of my phone and I just had nowhere to turn. And I said, well, I was just like, well, I guess I'm just going to quit, because for like a week I was calling the same number, like hoping that it'd be like, and it was just doing it. And after a week I was like, I guess I'm just, unless I find a new dealer, which how do you find a new dealer? Like I don't even go to clubs anymore. Right. So how do I even bump into somebody that has it? So I just, that's an interesting way. And after 3 weeks, I started feeling like I needed it less and less. But I'll tell you, it took me at least 2 years to mentally and emotionally overcome that addiction. It was, and nowadays, like I don't even think about it.
Yeah,
you can bust it out. I have zero desire. I actually hate stimulants. I'm not in love with them just because I think I just burned myself out on them. So, yeah. That's how it is, you know. And there's a lot of stuff in between that we didn't talk about, but that's the high level.
But that's really cool, man. Like I didn't know that you went to Australia. You took a pound of
basically
speed in
a quarter pound.
Yeah, or sorry, a quarter
yeah,
pound. But still, it's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, if I would have gotten caught, they would have thrown me in jail, bro.
For sure, man. It feels like you've had something on your side for sure. Along this journey with you, you know, which is really cool. And I think everybody has that, you know, and maybe you saw the signs and you just kind of went with it. Like you could have easily like found somebody, like you could have called people to like, or you could have gone to a club and been like, yo, I want, and then, but you're like, okay.
That's my personality. Like when I want something, I really will go after it. So it's interesting that I didn't like get a little bit more resourceful. I almost think that it was just time. It just felt like it was time. Yeah. And I never told Tanya forever until like 3 years ago.
Really?
And as a case, I'll let you know, the first year of our marriage, I was so high. And I lied to you the whole time. And she got mad. She still actually will bring it up. And she's like, I can't believe you lied to me the first year of marriage. And I'm like, babe, it was like, it was like 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Yeah. But yeah, so, cause I don't like lying and it felt good to come clean.
Yeah.
But yeah. And
so then that ended when? Like, when was the last time you did speed? What
probably like 2000 and probably 2007, maybe 2008.
Okay, got it. So this is like right during the Great Recession with real estate.
Yeah, I mean, I got my license in 2006. because everybody I knew was like, bro, like the real estate market's crazy. I'm making $40,000 a week. And I was like, I mean, a month. I was like, you're making $40,000 a month? Like, I'm going to get into this. And then, dude, the market crashed and it was short sales and foreclosures. And I just basically like clawed my way to paycheck for like 6 years. And then around 2011 was when I started seeing repeat business. I mean, you know, I was a drug addict when I got into real estate, and then I was a recovering drug addict starting my second year. You know, I was going to like Tom Ferry summits and stuff, but I didn't have like the intelligence to implement it. I wasn't running it like a business. I was winging it.
And you were in Orange County at this time.
Yeah.
You and Tanya had moved out there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
that was the end of a big chapter of your life.
Yeah.
Like partying and being on this drug. It was a long time.
Yeah.
And then you get into real estate, and then, but you're still married. And then what anything big happened in between 2010 to 2020? Like life changing stuff for you or for you and Tanya? Because I feel like you've always been into trying something new. Like when you said that you were going to do the Ironman, I was like the real Ironman, not like the little. You're like, yeah, the real. I'm like, wow, that's pretty amazing.
I actually had a couple guys that I know that are Ironman, and they're like, hey, like, I just want to make sure you understand what you said yes to. Like most people, you can't just train for an Ironman in 3 months. Like you can't do it. And I'm like, well, I'm doing it because I said yes, and I've got a 3-month training schedule, so obviously it's doable. Yeah. And they're like, okay, I don't think you know how hard it is, and you know it was hard, but I followed the training plan, man, and the training plan prepped me to succeed. Yeah. Yeah. You like I think that's something else I kind of want to talk to you about too, because you don't have a lot of fear. You know, like you go up on that like Tom Ferry stage, there's 5,000 people out there. Yeah, there's fear. But you look pretty comfortable in your own skin. You know, where does that come from? Is that I think my mom, like a developed skill? It's my mom. Okay. Yeah, it's my mom. So my dad is a little bit more quiet. My mom, she's the one that everybody will know before the party's over. Oh. My mom has always found herself in the circles that she probably, I don't want to say doesn't belong in, but I find myself in rooms all the time where I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm in this room right now with these people right now. It's crazy. Like I'm so good at it. In fact, you know, to talk a little bit about, we've talked a little bit about like the brokerage and what I'm looking for. And, you know, I've been exploring different ideas and different brokerages, and I was going in looking for a broker to go, yeah, Rob, come join us and we got your back and we'll mentor you and you can come with us on listing appointments. And I was looking for somebody to tell me that, you know, maybe I feel like I earned it after 19 years. And then Tanya was like, dude, that's all your ego. She goes, you don't need them to tell you that. She goes, you and I both know that within 6 months, you'll work your way all the way up to whoever you need to talk to, and they'll start mentoring you because they see how committed you are and they see like your potential. And she's like, just work the room. And that's totally my mom. She is fearless, bro. Like
she's Armenian?
She's Armenian,
okay.
Yeah. She will walk up to any, from Iran.
Oh, from Iran.
Both of my parents are Armenian from Iran.
Okay. Like born and raised there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm first generation American. She'll go to anybody. She'll walk up to Donald Trump, bro. And she'll just tell him what's up. She'll say she's not afraid of anybody. Like if she can get there without Secret Service tackling her, she would. And that's kind of been my MO. And like, you know, it's interesting because I remember when they asked me to be on Tom X, I hung up the phone and I was freaking out and I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And my assistant Christy was like, don't lie. She's like, you know you love this stuff. You know you love it. She's like, you know you love doing things that make you uncomfortable and things that are new and things that'll give you exposure. She's like, you're gonna kill it. And I'm like, you're right, I am gonna kill it. And I was freaking out, but I don't think the freaking out is about like people judging me. I'm not worried about that. I'm more like when I'm on stage, I want to make sure that if I'm on there for a reason, that the people leave with value. Like I don't want them to be like, oh, his talk was a flop. I didn't really get anything from it. So for me, the anxiety comes from like, I hope that when I'm up there that whoever needs to hear what I have to say gets that message. And I don't care if anybody, like everybody gets it.
You want to do a good job.
Like, I want to do a good job. Yeah. Like I want to represent my business with the highest standard. I think most people, like including myself, the fear is how people see you. Yeah, I mean, I was
You've
reading
never had that.
I was reading this statistic that was like 20 people, 20% of the people are distracted and doing something else, like they're working, they're not listening. And like 60% of the people are having sexual fantasies. Like this is a legit, like a poll. Did you hear it at the Elite event? They talked about it.
No.
Rory talked about it at the Elite event. And
No.
so he goes, only 10% of the people are paying attention.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to them. So nobody's really even paying attention to you. So don't worry about what people think about you.
Interesting.
But at any rate, I like I said, it goes back to, I like doing things that the average person doesn't do, or better yet, isn't willing to do.
So that's actually a component of what drives you, is that if it's hard to do, you want to do it, because of how you look, or to prove yourself that you can do it and other people can't. Like, because you're doing things that most people don't do, right? Like doing that jump, for instance.
Yeah.
Doing the Ironman, doing the boxing thing, getting on in front of a camera, doing the YouTube thing, right? That's not easy.
Yeah. No, I think it's the experience. I just like having stories. I like doing things and like feeling it. Like, dude, going through that Ironman was insane. Like the last 4 hours, I probably cried for half of it because it was just so hard. It was just so challenging, and just to be able to get through it all and then think back at it, like thinking about the waking up at 3 a.m. because I had to ride 100 miles and then run for 2 hours afterwards. It was a 9-hour day for me in preparation for my Ironman, and I had to wake up at 3 so I could ride until like 10 or 11 and then change and then run until like 2 or 3 and then have a little bit of the day left to be able to hang out with my wife or do things I needed to do on top of, like, you know, you have to just squeeze it in. And I was like, I didn't want to wake up at 3 and do that. But dude, when you cross that finish line and you think about the journey, it's just amazing. And it's a cool story to talk about. So like, do I love the recognition? Maybe there's a little bit of ego there where it's like, where somebody's like, wow, I can't believe you did a full Ironman, and it makes me feel like strong. Yeah, for sure. I love that. It makes me feel confident. But that's not the driving force. The driving force is experiences. Like another thing too is these types of things force me to live a certain way, right? So like if I have an Ironman in 6 months, I'm not eating burgers every single day. And I like to eat burgers every day. Like I like food, and I mean, I'm thick for a reason, right? Because I don't eat the best foods all the time. And so when I have an Ironman, or if I have something that I'm training for, I'm more likely to eat in alignment with that. And so it also keeps me in check.
Yeah.
I like having goals. I like planning things out. I like having things to look forward to. Like on May 26th to the 29th, I'm doing the Grand Canyon rim to rim.
Oh, sweet. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I just set it all up, and me and a couple friends are going. So it's an opportunity to go deep with a couple cool guys. One guy I know well and one guy that I've never met. It's an opportunity to visit the Grand Canyon intimately. Oh, yeah. Intimately. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You want to go? How many miles is
that? I don't know. It's like a 12-hour day. 20 miles? Maybe. So, but like I can go there and like drive there and stand on the hill and look at the magnitude of it, or I can get into the trenches and go into the canyon. Amazing. And then hike back up rim to rim. Like I'm experiencing it, right? I'm going to have great pictures. I'm going to have great stories. There's going to be moments where I'm going to have to push through pain and doubt. And then I'm going to come out on the other end with a big smile on my face. It's an adventure. I like adventure, dude. I mean, my adventure club.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Let's talk about that.
I started my adventure club because one of the things I learned in my men's group is that relationships are formed significantly faster when you do fun things with great people. And so the adventure club for me was, I want to do fun stuff. And as the only child, I want to do it with other people. Yeah. And so again, that's me wanting to spend time with people. It's like, well, like I can go jump out of an airplane by myself. Cool, whatever. I'll get pictures of it. But if I can get 15 of my friends to jump out of an airplane together, not all at the same time, but like on the same day, and then we all get to the ground and we're all hugging.
You can share that experience together.
We have that forever. Yeah. Hey, remember that time we jumped out of a plane together? Remember how the plane was all like, it felt like it was going to fall apart? Remember it was raining? Like whatever happens, like that story will go down in the history books. And so it's not just that I skydive, but I skydive with people. Maybe some of those people never thought that they would skydive. So I help them push through a fear and I help them learn something new about themselves. Maybe my friend John has never met my friend Aaron, but they connect and now they're doing business together, or maybe they fall in love. I don't know, but like the idea of being the reason why people know each other is also really cool to me. And that's the one thing I learned from Jimmy Rex is that like a lot of people are friends because Jimmy introduced them. And when somebody introduces you to a really great person, you'll never forget that person.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Eric introduced us.
Yeah.
Right? Eric's introduced me to you. Eric's introduced me to Ryan. Eric's introduced me to a lot. I'll never forget Eric. Eric's literally one of my favorite people on the planet.
We didn't even like talk about Eric. You know, Eric and I know each other from UCR soccer, and I had no idea. I haven't seen him in like, I don't know, 10, 15 years. And I saw him at a Tom Ferry event and I saw him hanging out with you.
Yeah.
So
and we met, we got close. And so you and I know each other because of Eric.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you know people because of somebody else, that somebody else is pretty special.
That is true. Yeah.
And
I never thought about that.
And so that's the whole point of my adventure club. So, you know, I may have bitten off a bit more than I can chew.
With the adventure club?
With the whole every month.
It's a lot of work.
So we had a talk. Tanya and I had a talk, and we committed to doing it once a quarter now. But I just recently found or learned about Airbnb experiences and TripAdvisor experiences.
And they just do it for you.
They do it for you. So like our next one, we're going to do it in February. It's like a 3-hour guided Balboa Peninsula bike tour on e-bikes. And this company does it, and it's $200 a person. And so I can get 15 people, I can get 10 people.
Yeah.
And now all I have to do is be a participant in this adventure. I'm doing something new, which is I'm riding bikes, e-bikes in the area that I want to serve, right? I'm going to learn it more intimately. I'm hanging out with people. I've been in Orange County for 20 plus years. I never done an e-bike tour on the peninsula. Why not?
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like I get to explore my city. I get to do something new, and I get to do it with people that I know, and then they can meet other people, and that could turn into new business. Bro, I invited my, a woman called me. She's like, I'm thinking about selling, but I don't know. And we stayed in touch. And when I did my salsa dancing, I sent out a mass email to everybody. And she's like, I love dancing. I'll come. And I was like, awesome. I don't even really know you that well. And you're going to come with your husband? We're going to salsa dance? We connected so deeply. She sent me a referral to a guy that wants to sell. And then she called me literally yesterday and said, we decided we're selling and you're our guy. Can you come over next Monday?
Easy.
Right? I'm not saying the salsa dancing is the reason why I got the listing, but it didn't hurt. Yeah. And I got to just, she was like, thank you so much for doing this. I miss dancing with my husband. Her and her husband did like a date night at my salsa dancing. So it's like, you never know. Right. And so how can I find a way to like combine my worlds? My passions are adventure and people.
Yeah. Connection.
That's my passion.
You love
adventure and connection.
But it's not just people. You love a connection with people.
I do.
Yeah. It's not like just like, hey, it's like you want to get to know people.
Yeah.
And be with them in a different way. You're not like a kind of guy that just wants to go and shoot the shit of, watch a sports game.
Yeah. Most of the time I'm not.
You want to go do something
I want to do something special. So like, it's just really cool. And so if I can create a business that revolves around relationships that I create, then I can find ways to work with people that know me, like me, and trust me. Yeah. And I know them and like them and trust them. And, everyone's happy. Well,
and we always talk about business. And when we were talking last time, I think it was last year, like your goal was you want to do less things that are, like prospecting, like cold calls. You want to do something that's more natural to your gifts, which is you love people, you love talking to people, you love adventure. And I was like, you know what? I thought about that too, because I'm like, I also, I don't think anybody likes to cold call, right?
Yeah.
Or like door knock. It's just like, it's not the most fun when you're disturbing somebody's time and, and space, right? So how can we do things that we really like to do and also benefit from that by helping them with real estate in some way, right? So that was a great idea, and you're actually doing that. Like you're doing more YouTube stuff, which you really enjoy doing.
Yeah, I really love.
Let's talk about that.
It's a passion project, but no, like just before we even jump into YouTube, like one of the things that I've recently done is I've joined the Newport Beach pickleball club.
Yeah.
And I've fallen in love with pickleball. It's super fun. I mean, if anybody knows me, they know, although I'm thick, I am insanely athletic, and I love to do, like, I just love movement. I love movement. And so the cool thing is the pickleball club is in Newport Beach, right across the street from CDM, Corona Del Mar. And most of the people that come to the club are Newport Beach, Corona Del Mar residents, right? And so it's like, did I join the Newport Beach Pickleball Club to sell homes? No. But did I join the Newport Beach Pickleball Club to meet people that may once in the future need my services? That's absolutely an option. So like for me, it's like, I think there's a time and place for door knocking and cold calling. I really do think that any well-rounded business should have that be a part of their business. Calling expireds as an agent, door knocking, around open houses and new listings and circle dialing, I think are great ways to get business. But I don't want 80% of my business coming from that. I want 80% of my business coming by way of relationship, whether it's two-sided or one-sided. Two-sided is if I'm belly-to-belly networking, and one-sided if you're watching my YouTube channel. If you're falling in love with me over a 13-month period, that's really great. So like, I'll give you an example. I got a comment a week ago, and this guy writes on there, he's like, hey, this is the second video of yours that I'm watching, and I really love your vibe. I live in Point Doom in Malibu, and I'm not really in love with all the fires and everything, and I've been thinking a lot about transitioning and selling my place and moving down to Laguna Beach. But if I move to Laguna Beach, it'd have to be specifically this community because I like privacy and I want oceanfront. And I'm like, okay, so this guy is talking about selling a $7 to $20 million property in Malibu and then buying a $30 to $40 million property in Laguna from a YouTube video because he likes my vibe. So I'm, and I'm glad because like that's the whole point of YouTube is like I want people to see me for who I am. Yeah.
And I think if anybody that talks about Robert, I think the consensus is that you have a good vibe.
Thanks, bro.
You just a fun guy.
Yeah.
And so it's like YouTube is that medium where you can now expand your network by, I mean, how many views are you getting on these like thousands?
Yeah.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands. Yeah. And thank you, by the way. And it's true, man. I want the best for everybody. Like my goal is to live a life of honesty and integrity, and I want to do what's best for people regardless of how it affects me or benefits me, right? Like I want to focus on my clients. I truly believe that anybody that's working with me is lucky to be able to work with me because I truly want the absolute best for them. And I'm not just saying that. And so I'm glad that it comes off that way. I'm glad that people feel
you're authentic.
My vibe.
Yeah, you're authentic. I mean, like you want to connect. A lot of people, they want to connect, but there's a reason they want to connect.
Yeah.
They want to connect for money. They want to connect for business. You just want to connect because you like the connection.
Yeah.
Like you generally you want to get to know somebody. Not everybody, but I'm sure most people that you encounter, you just want to get to know them. And there's like that like genuine feeling that I think people get from you.
Yeah.
And you have that naturally. Not everybody has that. I can't say I have that. Like I do like to meet new people. And you're extrovert. You get energy from people. I'm like right in the middle where I get energy by being alone. I also have energy by being with people that I like to be with. But I don't get a lot of energy by going out and meeting new people. I think there's a lot of energy for me I spend more energy than I get from going to meet new people. I think for you get more energy.
Me.
Yeah, it feeds you.
It was interesting because Tanya and I last week, maybe the week before, we did like a 4-hour video shoot. And that's pretty exhausting, bro, when you're on. And my buddy Chris Benjamin was doing like a panel talk at like some local spot in Irvine. And I saw it on social media and I was like, hey bro, are you going to you're talking? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I can get you a free pass if you want. I'm like, throw my name down. I'll come say what's up. And Tanya and I spent like from 10 o'clock to like 2 o'clock shooting this property. We were exhausted. And then she's like, let's go to Cafe R&D. It's like one of our favorite spots. So we go there, had a dirty martini. So I was like feeling good. Alcohol is a little bit of a depressant. So I'm like getting a little bit lazy. I just ate. And I'm like driving home and she's literally like, I don't know how you're going to go to this networking thing at 6 o'clock. And I'm like, "Ugh, I don't know either. But I go, you know what I do know? The minute I get there, I'm going to turn it on. Yeah. And I swear to you, I didn't want to go. And I was driving there and I was like, and then I get there. And the minute I see somebody that I know, it just, everything went away. And like the energy and my enthusiasm just comes up. I can't hide. I'm like a Labrador, bro. I just don't have a tail.
Yeah.
That's it. That's like, if I had a tail, I always joke, if I had a tail, it'd be wagging right now, bro. It'd be wagging.
Yeah.
But
that's cool.
I just like, I feed off other people's energies and I like being around. So yeah. I love the networking thing. And I think a lot of agents don't like I joined the Newport Beach Chamber of Commerce and I'm going to a lot of the chamber events and I'm meeting other local business owners in Newport Beach and I'm creating alliances and I'm meeting the staff at the chamber and I'm volunteering and I'm on their radar. And that's led me to this program called the Distinguished Citizens Program, which is a 5-week course taught by the mayor. And so now I'll be meeting the mayor and I'll be learning like the etiquette of like Newport Beach, right? Like, and just learning and going deeper into the culture. 'Cause that's the thing. If there's a culture in Newport Beach that like, it's funny when I was an agent based out of Irvine and I'd go to Newport Beach agents that knew me would be like, what's up, Mac? What are you doing out here? And I was like, out here? I didn't come from Temecula.
Yeah.
I came from Irvine. I was like, this was like an 11-minute drive.
Yeah.
But now I get it. 'Cause like agents will come from like Anaheim and they'll be in Newport Beach looking at preview. And I'm like, what are you doing out here looking at homes? And I'm like, oh, that's my bad. I'm not trying to be like mean. But like, seriously though, what are you doing out here? Like, I thought you sold in Anaheim. So it's interesting how it is in Newport Beach, but I feel like that it's like a micro market.
Yeah.
And you have to.
Same here, right? It's like, it's
coastal
prized. It's prized. It's very competitive.
Yep.
And it's very intimidating.
Yeah.
So, but people from other places want to come and see the properties and they're just like curious about what it's about.
Yeah.
And you're entering that. Again, this is like it's like the no fear. You're like, you know what, I'm gonna enter this. I don't know what's gonna come from it, and I'm gonna go for it. That wasn't my way of coming into Beverly Hills. Like I don't have that same like fearless, I think, personality that
I can't take all the credit. So Ryan definitely was a big part of that. I was in my comfort zone in Irvine. We were selling properties. My overhead was low. It wasn't broke. There's no need to fix it. And, the demographics in Irvine was changing. We were losing market share. And Ryan at that time, he was with me because we've been in this new place for about 3.5 years, maybe 4 years. And he's been with me a total of 7.5 years. So he was only 3 years in and he had gotten into the business with the hopes of entering luxury. Like even before he was licensed, luxury was on his radar. And so after 3 years, he was like, bro, we're losing market share. We have an amazing team, amazing reputation. Why don't we go out to Newport Beach and sell badass houses? Yeah. And I was like, well, what would that look like? And that's what led to where we are today. Yeah. So, and that's really why I love Ryan, because I am fearless and I am an overachiever, but I also am really good at getting into my comfort zone and then not recognizing opportunity because I'm so comfortable where I'm at, which is why I like to spend time. We talked about it. Like I want to be in an environment where I'm around other people that are doing 10x what I'm doing. So I can see that these normal people that are just like me are doing these high level things. And again, you are who you spend the most amount of time with. And I want to be in an environment with people that are doing incredible things, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in life, whether it's for the world. Like I want to be around people that inspire me. And so that Ryan really helped me see that vision. And now we're working on building something special.
And I Kyle's like that for me, Yeah. Like he asked those questions too. And he inspires me to be like, you know what, that's right.
Yeah.
Why don't we do this?
Yeah.
So it is nice that you have somebody like that on your side. It's like a bro that is going to go through the freaking trenches with you, and also also ask you, hey, like, why not do this? And you're like, well, yeah, why not? Yeah. Let's do it. I want to talk about. We've had an amazing conversation. Thank you. I want to talk about your men's group because I'm passionate about my men's group. I love my guys. It's not as big as the one you were with. You had a big group. We have a group of about 8 to 10 guys, right? And we meet every Wednesday from 12 to 2, really hard, like right in the middle of the week via Zoom, right? And we do plant medicine together as well during the 6-month period. We've done almost a full year now with the same group, and we're just a really tight-knit group. I want to learn more about why you did it, what you learned from it, and what it was like.
So I didn't know what I was getting into when I signed up. So I met Jimmy in Bill Pipes' kitchen for Bill's 50th birthday party. And Jimmy had this tattoo on his forearm that said, "We are the they." And I was like, bro, what's "we are the they" mean? So he was working undercover. If you've seen the movie, the Tim Ballard movie, I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically like sex trafficking. So he worked for Operation Underground Railroad, which is a group, an organization that's looking to end sex trafficking. And he was undercover with like a couple other dudes.
Federal or like private?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's significant though. Like if you Google it, there's information about it. Like I think Tony Robbins donates millions of dollars to it, which I think also Tony Robbins donated a lot of money to fire victims in LA. It's crazy. A lot of money, like millions, like 4 or 5 million. But anyway, he likes to give money away, which is awesome. I want to give money away too. At any rate, so he's a volunteer undercover and he's like doing this really dangerous operation. Like he was talking about it, like if he would have said one wrong thing or if they would have sniffed that he was, they'll cut him. They'll slice his throat. So he's telling his girlfriend, babe, it's crazy. We did this. We almost died, but we saved like 11 girls and this and this. And he was all excited about it. And she's like, I need you to stop doing this. And he's like, what do you mean? And she's like, I don't want you to do this anymore. It sounds dangerous. You told me you almost died tonight and I don't want you to do this anymore. He's like, but he goes, this is what I want to do. I'm helping. And he goes, well, can't they do it? Why can't they do it? Why do you have to do it? And he goes, there is no they. We are the they.
Oh, that's cool.
And every time I say it, I get chills.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like watch an accident on the road and then watch everybody drive by. You know, very few people, less like 1% of people will stop to make sure they, and now I'm that guy. Like if I see something, I will pull over. If I see an accident, if I see a couple months ago, these girls were riding an e-bike and just wiped out and I pulled over and I stayed with them until the ambulance came, right? Like, because I want to be the guy that does it when most people won't. So you told me the story and I was like, dude, this is incredible, bro. I go, what's the group what's this? He's like, I want to do a men's group. It's going to be 100 guys. It ended up being 50, but he goes, it's going to be 100 guys and we're going to do crazy things. Like we're going to network, we're going to business mastermind, but he's like, we're going to do like adventures. Like we're going to like jump out of helicopters into like active volcanoes and we're going to go trek the Congo with gorillas and we're going to like run with the bulls and all this stuff. And I was like, this is insane. I'm in, bro. Like I just thought it was an adventure club, right? This was the adventure club before the adventure club, which by the way, I got that idea again from Jimmy.
This is the first time he's doing this men's group?
This was 4 years ago. I'm having this conversation with him.
4 years ago. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
So I'm group one.
You're group one. So this is, his first time doing it was you.
Yeah.
Your group. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So when we signed up, we all met. It was always a quarterly meetup, weekly Zoom calls, and then twice a year we did an adventure trip. Okay. Right. So every quarter I was getting together with these 50 guys and we were going through. So Jimmy would bring all these different people. He'd bring people that did breath work. He brought people that did like dances with cocoa. He brought people that did meditation. He brought
dances with cocoa.
Like if you drink cocoa and then it gives you like
cacao.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was like, cocoa. Is that a dog or something?
No, cacao.
Okay.
Ceremonies. We've done like that. What's that? That frog poison combo.
Yeah, combo.
We did a bunch of the but on top of that, he would bring in relationship experts. He would bring in psychotherapists. He would bring in literally people that were worth $500 million, like just rich, wealthy, multi-millionaire people that would talk about money habits. And it just ended up turning into this like holistic group where we would talk about things that we were unhappy about. We would talk about things that made us vulnerable. We would support each other. We would learn together. We would go on adventures together. And we just developed this insane bond because we were doing the craziest stuff together.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know? And so like, I didn't know. I literally thought it was an adventure club. I thought we were just going to go on trips. But it was so much more than that. And that's what really opened my eyes to like how this world needs so much more masculine energy. How men need other men to be able
non-toxic masculine energy.
Non-toxic masculine energy. how men need other men to bond with. Like, I mean, I don't know there's this English, he does a podcast, Chris
Williamson.
Williamson.
Yeah, he's great.
Jimmy and him, they had a chat and on a podcast, and Chris was talking about how a healthy man needs to spend alone time with other men at least twice a week.
Yeah.
Twice a week.
But like quality.
Quality. Yeah. Not like let's go drink beers and get wasted.
Talk about sports. But talk about real stuff.
Right.
Like what's going on in your life.
The thing is one thing I learned is before the group, like men didn't cry. Before the group, I learned men didn't share their deepest, darkest secrets unless it was like a therapist. And even that was kind of weird. And then what I learned through the group was like, no, man, if you have a great group of guys, like-minded men that are willing to hold space for you and won't judge you and will be there for you, then you can talk about all the things you struggle with. And when you get it out and it feels so great, and then they offer support and love, but then maybe some accountability or strategies to change things around. It was amazing. Like, I mean, I was talking to a guy that I met through the group yesterday, and I was talking to him just on a phone, and I was like, how's everything going? He's like, it's good, bro. It's good. I'm in the best shape of my life, 2025. And I'm like, that's cool. And he's like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good and whatever. And I'm like, how's everything really going though, man? Like, how's everything? And he's like, well, you know, I'm dealing with this with my relationship, and my son's going through this. And I was like, well, tell me about it. And it was crazy because like for 25 minutes, I was just like, literally like, don't say a word, Rob. Shut up, Rob. Shut up, Rob. Just listen, Rob. You know, because it's like I'm so conditioned to want to like say something positive or offer advice. But I was like, at the end of it, I was like, thank you for being vulnerable, bro. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing with me, because that means you trust me and I really appreciate you. And I'll be praying for you, and I know everything is going to work out well, and let's get together and let's catch up and let's do lunch or pickleball soon. And I was like, wow, that was awesome. Like I'm growing as like a listener, because if I didn't do this men's group, I wouldn't have understand what listening and holding space really meant. Mm-hmm. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to have been able to go through that experience.
Was that 1 year?
It was 2.5 years.
2.5 years?
Yeah.
And I thought you started like a year ago.
No, bro. It started. So the very first time we met was December 2nd, 2021.
2021.
Yep. And then it was all of 2022, all of 2023.
When you first started.
And then midway through 2024, July 2024, we were done.
It ended. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I'm still a part of the tribe, and I can go on the weekly calls, but you know, it's one of those things where it's like, that's the thing that I loved about Jimmy and his program was it wasn't this ongoing coaching platform. It was like, hey, I got 2.5 years worth of material I want to share with you all. And if you can make it to the end, then you'll have learned everything that I can offer. And it was just awesome. And I can go so he has 6 groups total. Group 1 graduated. Group 2 will graduate in like 3 months. He still has 3, 4, 5, and 6. And he's still doing adventure trips for them. So they're going to Pamplona this year. They're doing Running with the Bulls again.
I was there when they were there.
So they're doing it again. I didn't go the first time.
Yeah. And Brett was there, I think, right?
And so I was like, dude, if I go, I mean, I could do Running with the Bulls if I want. I can connect with a whole new group of guys because most of the guys in my group already did it. So, I mean, it was just a great experience. It was great for my relationships with my friends. It was great. It was actually the catalyst that led me to God as well, because we would pray before every meal, and it felt really great to just be thankful for the food. I was never really a prayer before meals. And then when Tanya asked me to go to church with her in 2022, I was like, well, I've been praying before my meals. It just feels right. Let's go explore that. And that's what led me to Christ.
Oh, so that's a recent thing. I didn't know that.
It's all recent, yeah. So, you know, it was an awesome experience. I did a lot of fun stuff. I mean, I swam with sharks. I jumped out of airplanes. We jumped off that cliff. I tried a whole bunch of different things.
I was like, that looks pretty cool, man.
Yeah, and for the cost, I thought it was honestly dirt cheap. It was.
What was it?
$15,000 a year.
For it's not. Yeah, I think
for what he offers,
like $10,000.
For what he offers,
I agree, that's amazing.
It's unbelievably cheap. And there was external costs like
traveling and doing. Yeah, of course. So it's a lot more than that. But yeah, it's worth it.
Do you have any specific questions or
no? That's it.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a really cool question game. Okay. To get to know you a little bit more. I feel like we talked a lot about your life a lot, which is good, and I got to know you a lot more. So thank you for being.
Thanks for asking, man.
For being vulnerable and sharing.
It's scary. I'll be honest, because I really don't want my parents to see this. But you
we'll
know,
see.
it's funny actually because one of my goals was to build a multi-million-dollar business and then write a book called From Meth to Millions.
Dude,
that's
honestly,
one of my goals.
I've been thinking about writing a book,
but it's just never. I
think your book would be amazing. Honestly, I mean, I would.
Well, now with AI, I can write it real quick.
Right. My name is Robert Mack. Well, it probably already knows you.
Yeah.
So just write me a book. Yeah.
Write a book about my life.
All right. So this is called What's Your Word? This is from Chris Penn. You know those bracelets that have the little ring and has like a word on it.
Okay.
Have you seen those bracelets?
I think so.
Anyway, the guy who founded it, I know him. He lives in the West Side. His name is Chris Penn. He also he made this like card game, and they're just really good, insightful questions to really understand somebody, you know, a little bit more.
Okay.
So I want you to pick one card for now, and then we'll do a couple. Pick a card. All right, cool. And read it out loud and answer the question.
Well, we talked about it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. What are you passionate about?
Yeah.
And want to spend more time doing?
Okay.
So I'll tell you this, actually, I can talk about something that we haven't talked about yet. So it's interesting because 2025 and everyone talks about their goals. And I'll tell you this, if you're listening, put some goals, write some goals down, you know, write some goals down. So real estate agents, we are just like bred to business plan and have goals, right? But the average person, like most people don't plan. 80% of people don't write down goals. They don't have goals.
Business or personal.
Yeah. And 80% of the people that don't, and 80% of the people that do, don't have a plan to achieve their goals. So like, just have goals. Like, even if it's anything, like, I think it's important to have something that's driving you. But so for me, and I can go into the numbers, but I just want to keep it just very like high level. But I have 3 goals this year. Number 1 is, health and wellness. Like I want to be able to see the muscles in my body that are flexing when I'm doing the plank.
They're in there.
I don't want to see my fat. I want to see my muscles that are flexing and twitching.
So that's all food.
It's food.
All food.
It's food. Absolutely food. I got to get that in check.
Okay.
The second is I want to take my wife on more trips. I've already identified how many. I know everyone's like, be specific, but I want to spend more time with my wife. I want to go on more trips. I want to experience her living the carefree life in different cultures. And I also want to add a component of missionary work to every trip we do. So for example, I just got back from Vietnam. I was there for 10 days doing missionary work. And I want to go back this year and take my wife. But I don't want to go back for more than a week. But I want to do a 2-week trip. So we'll do 1 week in Vietnam where Tanya and I serve. And then we'll do 1 week in Thailand where we just be couples. And then the third
What's your third?
is to simplify my work life and remove things off my plate that are not my highest and best use of time, so I could be more efficient in the things that I am doing, so I can create the income I need to create, so I can do the trips.
Yeah.
If I don't get my professional life dialed in, and because I'm a yes guy, I will say yes to so many things.
Same.
So I need to simplify my professional life and just focus on selling homes and helping people and making money, so I can take my wife on the trips that I want to take her on.
That's amazing. Yeah, for sure. I'm the same as you, man. Like, I say yes to a lot. And I was listening to Sahil Bloom. He was being interviewed by Rich Roll. Do you listen to Rich Roll podcast? Really good podcast. Anyway, I'll send it to you. But he talks about that. He's like, you know, we often say yes and we just waste time. You know, say no more often. Do the things that are important and take more time with them and be good at them.
Go deep.
Yeah, go deep. Exactly. Go deep.
You don't need to do 15 things. You can do 5 things, but deep, or 3 things and really deep, right? And so it's interesting. There's 2 things that I wanted to share with you that I've learned. Well, Tom Ferry always says this, and this has always stuck with me, but he said, when you lack focus, everything seems like an opportunity. And so that's something, because I do lack focus, because I do want a lot of different things. And then the second thing that I learned actually in a Bible study that I was a part of a couple of weeks ago, he says, a lot of people say that when they have a lot going on, they say they're overcommitted. And he goes, that couldn't be further from the truth. He goes, you can't be overcommitted to a lot of things. He goes, because if you're committed, you're all in on like 1 or 2 things. He goes, so you're actually overburdened and undercommitted. You're undercommitted. So he goes, so my takeaway from the elite event last week, when you weren't there, and my notes were very simple. Like, you're doing 9 different things. Pick 2 and stop the rest and just go all in on those two. And so that's my takeaways this year. It's be focused on the 2 or 3 things that I really want and let all the other stuff, all those distractions go away. That's the answer to that question.
A lot to learn from that one. All right, here we go. Give me something good. Give me a good one.
What random act of kindness could you perform right now? Honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is giving people money. I love giving people money. And it's interesting too because
Oh yeah, talk about your $100 tip nights.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
We could do that. So one of the things I do before it was called the Adventure Club is, and I got this from Jimmy, is getting like 9 to 14 different people to come to a dinner. So it ends up being 10 or 15 people at dinner. And it's really cool because everybody gets to meet new people. We get to support a local restaurant. But what we do is if you want to go to this dinner, you have to Venmo me $100, and that'll hold your spot for the dinner. And if I can get 15 people to say yes, then people will send me $1,500. The day before the dinner, I'll go to the bank and get the money. We all go eat at this restaurant. We break bread. We network. We have fun. We support a small business. And at the very end, we just leave a $1,500 tip with the check.
Amazing.
And the waitress or whoever, the server just and it always ends up being somebody who just needs it. It's always so I really do love giving money away. I love serving people in that regard. It's interesting because you'll see homeless people from time to time, and I used to always say, "Oh, I'm not going to give them the $20 or the $10. They're going to go buy booze." And what the one thing that Tanya told me was that's not our place to judge. Mm-hmm. It's not about what they do with the money. It's about the fact that you're giving them money. Mm-hmm. And so not judging people where they're at, but really just focusing on the act of kindness. And I do love, I'm saying this on video, so it's not anonymous, but I do love something about donating anonymously, kind of gets me high. Like I'm doing something amazing without them calling me and saying like, "Hey, Rob, I saw the donation, whatever." It's just like, "Hey, it doesn't matter where it came from. All that matters is that I was able to be a part of your journey and help you the way I could help you." And that's one thing is
there's no ego in there.
No, and that's the one thing about Vietnam. If I could just write a $10,000 check to the partners that are there serving, it would literally change the trajectory of everything they're working on. And I'd love to do that, but I got bills to pay and I got overhead to pay. So one of my biggest goals is how can I create so much financial abundance through the real estate sales that I'm doing and that I'm making where I can give more, right? And I post this all the time, and maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, but I'll post a verse from the Bible that talks about giving. Shoot, actually posted one this morning. It talked about if you truly have faith in God, you will sell all your possessions and give everything away because God will have your back. You don't need all that stuff. And then I'll have a little question on the Instagram story that says, do you have a giving goal this year? And some people have a giving goal, right? Do you tithe? Mm-hmm. And I'm really big on that, but I want to do more than tithe. And so
what's tithe?
When you give the first 10% of the income that you make to the church, right? And so that's something that we're already doing, but it's then there's offering. Offering is another level of giving where it's you just write a check because you just have the ability to. For example, the fires, right? Mm-hmm. The fires happen. I'm sure a lot of different people have stepped up to the plate and donated money. That's an offering. That's not a tithe. And maybe they tithe and maybe they don't. And I don't know. Maybe everybody has different intentions for why they do certain things. But I would love to be in a position where I'm oh my gosh, 14 orphans are living in this 2-bed, 1-bath house. And there's 3 adults in here taking care of them. And the place is falling apart. And if they could just have a handyman come by for $1,000, they could fix all the little issues, the electrical outlets that don't work and the plumbing that leaks. And just to be able to go, you know what? Here's $5,000. Fix the roof too. That
it's a great
stuff.
Feeling. I don't have that feeling that you do, and there's something inside of me that kind of feels guilty, And I'm just wondering, have you always been that way?
No, I never thought about tithing. I always said, hey, I got to get my house in order first. Yeah. But when you start to when you give your life to the Lord and you start to read the Bible and you start to practice and implement the principles that you read into your life and you start to see the miracles that happen in your life as a result of doing the things that God wants you to do that are in the Bible, you start to feel extra blessed. And it's interesting because I feel more generous on the months that I make the least amount of money. It's almost like me saying, hey, God, I don't have the money to give, but I promised I would do it, and I'm going to do it because I know you got my back. And that
Having
just
faith,
feeling that faith, feeling that like, oh man, like that could really go towards this credit card this month.
Yeah.
Versus like, the church or this organization or whatever. But, it's just, it was interesting. The very first church service of the year, the junior pastor came out on the stage and he said, it was actually very powerful. He said, I want to challenge you, if you're a giver, if you're a tither, to double down in January. And he's like, and I want you to give in January as if it's December and God answered all your prayers. So he goes, set the tone, right? And so it's like, think about it like this, right? Like when you go to a valet, what if you tip in the beginning instead of at the end? How much better will they take care of your car while it's there? If you go to a restaurant, and that's why they always say like tip in the beginning so they know, and now they feel almost obligated to take care of you, right? So it's like if you tithe or offer or donated significant money in January and go, God, I know you got my back. I know this year is going to be full of miracles, and I just want to give to you and your kingdom like never before. And I did. I just gave extra in January, and it was awesome. And it wasn't a great month, but it was awesome feeling. And I just want to do more of that, because look, we don't have kids. I don't have a legacy. I don't have anybody to leave anything to. So my thoughts and feelings are now like, how can I make the biggest impact in this world? So when I'm gone, like I just bless as many people as possible. Yeah. That's really my newest thing. So like,
and you never, I mean, do you want to have kids?
I
adopt kids or?
I want to say no, but I don't know how it's just, we tried to have kids for like 7 years and it never worked. And we talked about doing like IVF or certain things. And we just said, we don't want to play God. Adoption, I don't know. I really don't know. Like we haven't really sat down and talked about it. I think I actually visited an orphanage in Vietnam, and there was this kid. Thanks, bro. Yeah. There was this kid that was just so adorable, and I was like, man, can you imagine if I just put in an application to adopt him?
Whoa, you had that feeling,
and then change his life.
Yeah.
Like imagine he's
100%.
One of 14 kids living in a dilapidated 2-bed, 1-bath home in the slums of Vietnam.
Yeah, man.
And happy as could be.
You had a
happy
thought.
as could be. And I was like, what if I adopted him and brought him to Orange County? He'd probably get all entitled or something. By like 12, he'd be like, he'd be like, stop talking to me, Dad. He's on his iPhone 36.
Yeah.
Just talking smack. I'm like, you know what? I should have never adopted you. But I think there's a certain amount of selfishness that is driving this decision, because my life without kids is a lot more manageable. It's a lot more predictable. Like I can take Tanya and go on a trip whenever I want. When you have kids, you got to worry about school. What are you going to do with them? Who's going to babysit them? I can do
big responsibility.
I can do. And so my thoughts are, and I've been asking and praying, like maybe I don't necessarily need to have my own kids, but maybe there's a way that I could be around a lot of kids or serve a lot of kids in the future, right? So it's like, okay, well, I really loved the orphanage that it really impacted me when I went in Vietnam, and they were one of the people that I sent money to in January. I sent them money because so it's like, well, I want to send them more money. And then I want to go back and visit them, and I want to see the kids, and I want to say what's up and high five them. And then
you're going to come back with the cue with Tanya for sure, bro.
I want to see them. Yeah, right. I want to see them get adopted and have like a full-time family. Like it would be cool for me to just show up and they'd be like, what's up, Rob, or whatever, whatever they call me. But like, I think I see kids being in my life. I just don't necessarily know if they'll be mine. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to do more soul. So I also feel like I'm like older, like 40. I'm 46 now, and so like having a newborn or like a young kid means that by the time they're 10, I'm like in my mid 50s, and I don't know if I'll have the patience. People have kids when they're like 20 or 30, and then they're like 50 when their kids are like 10 or 15.
Yeah, but you know what? What I've seen from like the friends I know that have kids and they have full-time jobs It's like your heart expands and you have more energy. And when you love something, you just have more energy to take care of that one thing that you love.
I agree. And I also think that the negative of not having kids is that we have a lot of time to waste.
Yeah.
When you have kids, you don't have extra time to waste. You're always either doing something for you or for them. And the fact that Tanya and I don't have kids means we have a lot of time to do stuff for ourselves. And sometimes we waste time.
Yeah. Yeah, but you don't seem like a time waster. You seem like
I'm
you're
not that much of a time waster.
You do a lot of stuff. All right, this is good. All right, this is opening up some new good conversations.
Yeah,
we could be here for hours.
Hold on. Let me get
the going right there. Ooh, all right. It's like pulling tarot cards.
What is one of the kindest things someone has ever done for you?
Ooh, okay. Probably Tanya saving you from.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Okay.
It's only because it's very recent.
Okay.
It's very, very recent.
And it's like it's one of the kindest things.
It's literally one of the kindest things. Yeah. So growing up, I played competitive tennis. I loved tennis.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
in Fresno.
So in Fresno. So I played in junior high school. I played in elementary school with my dad.
Okay.
And then when I got to junior high school, I joined the tennis team, and I loved it. And then in high school, I was number 2 as a freshman, and then as a sophomore, junior, and senior, I was number 1. And I would play tennis tournaments all the time.
Where does this come from?
I love tennis.
No wonder you're good at pickleball.
Yeah, it was a natural fit, dude.
Right.
So I loved playing tennis, and I crushed tennis. And in the 90s, I used to love Andre Agassi.
Oh, yeah.
And Andre Agassi had a style about him, bro.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I don't know if you remember the AirTech challenges, the hot lava shoes that he had, the hot pink shoes. So I could show pics and stuff, and I'll show you pictures later. But 2024, they re-released the Andre Agassis from like the mid 90s on the sneakers app.
2024?
Yeah.
Okay.
For $150. And I went on the day that they released them, and they were sold out in seconds, bro. Seconds.
Oh, no.
And then immediately they were selling on like StockX for like $300. And I'm like, I love him, but I don't love him that much, you know, whatever. And I was texting Eric, and I'm like, dude, because he's a sneakerhead, right? Yeah. So I was texting him about it and everything, and he's like, oh man, whatever. And he's like, that sucks. And I know that he can get anything anytime for probably a great deal, right? But so at any rate, he goes, you gonna buy him? And I go, nah. And he goes, don't buy him. He goes, they'll drop in price. Don't buy him. And I would check with him. I'm like, hey, bro, they're asking like $250 now. Should I get him? He's like, no, dude, they'll drop. Don't buy him. And so one day they went down to like $211, and I put a bid for like $200, and they accepted them. So I got him for $200. So I sent him a screenshot, and I go, bro, had to. And he goes, no, because he had them, and he was waiting for Christmas. He sent me a picture. He goes, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these now. And he goes, these were your Christmas present. Oh. And I go, bro, that is honestly
it's amazing.
Like one of the nicest things anyone's ever done for me, because like it means he listens. It means he knows what I care about. And I think he was like, this was like an elaborate plan for him to talk me out of getting him so he could be the one to give them to me.
That's cool,
and honestly, like just Eric and his personality, like I was talking to him several weeks ago, and dude, he's given away probably 50, 60 pairs of shoes. Really? And these aren't cheap shoes, $200, $300, $400 pairs of shoes. I call him the shoe fairy.
And shout out to Eric, man. Eric and Carrie. I mean, Eric, my perception of Eric in college is completely different than it is now. You know, he's changed a lot, and I have changed too, you know, but he's such an amazing guy. And obviously, you know, he lost his house in the Palisades fires. So shout out to him, and, you know, hopefully he's doing okay.
Yeah, he's doing good, one day at a time. But no, that's like literally one of the nicest, and I'm sure if I thought harder, but that was literally like a very recent, like this happened in the last 4 months. And I literally went to Tanya. I was like, isn't Eric just like an awesome dude, bro? Like just to think about getting me these shoes, how much they mean to me. So
that's cool, man. Shout out to Eric. All right, cool. I love how we're incorporating a little bit of Eric in here, because, you know, he's the connector. All right, 2 more cards.
Okay, 2 more.
2 more cards, and then let's go play some pickleball or paddle tennis. I'm a little nervous now because, you know, you played tennis, so it's like, you know.
I'm a 4.0.
You're a 4.0?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's my ranking, like my skill level.
Oh, really? What does that mean? Like 4.0? Like,
I'm a 4.0 player.
Okay.
Yeah, like 4.5
for
plus.
Pickle?
Yeah, for pickleball.
Oh, pickle has ratings?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It says, what moves you to tears or gives you goosebumps?
Oh,
Um,
it's a good one. I mean, you had some goosebumps earlier, you said, when that guy was telling you the story, Rex.
yeah. I mean, I think the thing that gave me goosebumps about that was just his passion behind it. Like the story, there's just such an emotional connection to it. I feel like when I'm emotional about something that gives me goosebumps, I'm trying to think of what moves me to tears. You know, I was very emotional at the orphanage. I think what would give me goosebumps and also would move me to tears is, again, I think going back to being in a position to financially and positively impact people that need resources. Yeah. I just want to be in that position.
Give them back, man.
Whether I do or I don't,
amazing,
like
yeah.
I just want to be in a position to bless people, especially since I don't have kids to save or create a legacy for. Like I don't need to do a 529 plan. I don't have kids that are going to college. So it's like, well, how can I use that money to take care of my family, make sure my mom and dad are good, my immediate family is good, but then how can I use that extra income to bless other people? That I got very emotional at the orphanage, man. Yeah, and I didn't think I'd get very emotional there.
It sounds like I mean, you have a good heart, so it sounds like, you would get emotional at an orphanage, man. I mean, it's heartbreaking to see, these kids that don't have a mom and dad to help them, like get through life. I mean, like those people are, like at a baseline when they turn 18 compared to somebody in Newport Beach at 18. It's like, the chances of this person in Newport advancing and having a better life, better health, better at, everything, relationships, adventures, travel is so much higher. I mean, you can't even compare, man. So yeah, I get that. All right, cool. Last question. Better be good. Pick a good card.
Okay. This one.
Okay. Oh, you sure that's the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
What or who are you grateful for?
Oh,
this is in alignment with one thing. I don't know if I send them to you, but there's one thing that I do. I'm probably the most grateful guy I know. And the only reason why I say that is because almost every morning I put together a list of 10 things I'm grateful for, and I do my absolute best to change them up every single day, because it's so easy to go, I'm grateful for my parents, I'm grateful for my wife, I'm grateful for my health.
That's like a Tony Robbins thing, right? Like really feel into that gratitude. You have to
feel it. Yeah. So it's like when you get to like day, like I've been doing this for 10 years. So like some days I'll be like,
really?
Some days I'll be like, I'm grateful for forks. Like when's the last time you were grateful for a fork?
Yeah, seriously.
Right?
Yeah.
And so just
imagine
little things
like your hands, yeah.
Like I'm part of a couple different accountability groups, and I said I'm grateful for my socks, because if I didn't have socks, my feet would be ruined, because I play pickleball and I run, and it would ruin my feet, right? And so I wrote socks, and then one of my partners was like, "Are these like special socks that you're grateful for?" I'm like, "No, I'm just grateful for straight socks, because if we didn't have socks, my feet would be messed." So when I think about what or who are you grateful for, I'm gonna say that and it's kind of weird, I'm grateful for the fact that I'm grateful. Like that's what I'm grateful for. It says what are you grateful for? I'm grateful.
You sent me a video one time that you're grateful for me.
Yeah,
I think so. That was really nice.
I like to.
That was from Tony Robbins, actually, because I actually saw that just made the connection right now. Yeah, that's cool.
I just, Tom got it in me where it was like, we call it our 10-10s. So it was, you write down 10 things you're grateful for and then 10 things you want to attract in your life. And I've been doing that forever. Every morning.
Every morning.
Yeah, I can go through and show you.
Yeah.
I can literally show you.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do that.
You want to see it?
Right now.
You want to see what I was grateful for this morning?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. 10 things you're grateful for and 10 things you're trying to attract.
No, but I don't do the attract anymore. Oh, yeah, I just do grateful.
Okay. All right.
So I'll show you. So this is, what does it say?
Are you texting yourself?
No, I have different. So I text my friend.
Accountability.
I went to my friend Garo, right? So this is, what does it say today, right?
Here, let me read it.
You can even go up. Actually, some days he doesn't even respond. Look at that.
Yeah,
this guy hasn't responded for like a week. He hasn't responded for a week. I'm gonna be like, you okay, bro?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Okay, so here, go through.
Read it. Why don't you read it?
Here, no, you read it.
Okay, I'll read it. All right. Which one do you want to read? Anyone?
All of them. Just pick them.
I'm going to just pick the last one today. I'm grateful for not knowing all the answers and not being afraid to figure things out. Yeah, fearless. I'm grateful for getting invited to my first pickleball tournament. I'm excited to play competitively. Nice. I'm grateful for the future, the unknown abundance of opportunity. Nice. I'm grateful for unconditional faith in the Lord and the fact that He always meets my needs according to His riches. I'm grateful for reading the New Testament for the second time and starting my day in the gospel. Nice. I'm grateful for getting a come list me call yesterday from a super motivated seller in a great price point.
Those
Nice.
Are good. You know how that is.
Yeah,
Very grateful.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bring on the listings,
Yes.
baby.
Come on, baby. I'm grateful for driving to LA today to spend time with 2 luxury agents. I am who I spend time with. Nice. Thank you. I'm grateful for my tonal, which is that workout machine.
Yeah.
Right. And the working out with Tanya. For whoever doesn't know what it is, it's an unbelievable machine. It's almost like you knew I was going to read it today.
Dude, isn't that
That's
crazy?
awesome.
No, you can
I
read
love it.
yesterday. You read
Yeah,
yesterday's. I put
love
so
it.
much effort into this. I
Yeah.
spent 15 minutes doing my
I like
gratitude
it.
every day.
Do you do it on the phone? Like you're doing on this text messages, or you write it down?
I write it on. So I have like 6
Or an
people I
app.
send it to. So I pick whichever one, and then I copy and paste it to the
I like
rest.
this. This is a really.
I'll send you mine, dude.
Yeah, please do, because
send you mine.
it'll get me into the mode of doing it too. Yeah. I like that. I'm grateful for my gardeners. They keep my yard looking great with a smile on their face. Nice.
They're
That's
always so
beautiful.
happy, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I literally, Raphael was in my backyard today doing his weed whacker, and I just knock on the door, and I'm like, and he's like, "Good morning, Robert."
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful, just happy.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm grateful for figuring out that insurance will pay for all or most of my broken fence. I don't know why I read broken face. I was like, what the fuck?
No, dude. So
Broken fence.
the
I remember
winds,
the winds.
the winds broke
yeah.
my fence. I got a quote 18 grand, and then my father-in-law was like, "Have you checked with insurance?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." I called my insurance rep. She's like, "Oh yeah, they'll cover it." So we have an adjuster coming out on Sunday.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, just make sure that you know what that means afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah, that may mean that your premium goes up a lot.
Oh,
or
gosh.
because that that's
We'll have to figure it out,
but just know that before you go through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's important.
But I think that's what I'm grateful for. I think I'm
man.
like Matt Farnham.
No.
So Matt Farnham is a guy that I met through Five, and we become really close. And since then, he's moved on. But we talk every day, and it stems from gratitude. And we even he was the guy that invited me to Vietnam, and we actually taught a gratitude class. So when I read that card and it says, "What are you most grateful for?" I'm grateful for the fact that I am the most grateful person I know.
Yeah, and Joe Dispenza, who Avi Becker, who we know, he does a lot of those retreats. He's really big on gratitude and what that does for you on a physiological level. Yeah. It opens up your heart space. Your energy's different.
Absolutely.
You're like vibrating at a different frequency. People are attracted to you. It's amazing. So
You
thanks.
can't-
Add me to that list, bro.
I will. You can't be upset. You can't be anxious when you're feeling gratitude. Your body can't do both. Yeah. And so it's just it's my morning routine is like clockwork. It's wake up, drink water, read the Bible for 30 minutes at least, do my gratitude, exercise. That's pretty much like.
And then you're like on a rocket ship for the day.
Yeah.
You're feeling so good.
Yeah.
I have a similar, I do my gratitudes. I journal, I read and exercise, have my cacao, and then I'm just feeling like, let's go.
Not cocoa.
No, definitely not cocoa. And
No
I'm not,
marshmallows?
and I'm not dancing with cocoa either.
You should have the cocoa.
Yeah,
the cacao I have.
There you go.
I'll bring it for you.
Yeah. Ceremonial grade, I'm sure.
It is ceremonial.
Oh, yeah, I'm
grade.
sure. I know you, bro.
It's a block. It's
I know
a
you.
brick.
Yeah. Rob, thanks for coming out, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
I really appreciate. I know this
time
is
flew by.
I know this is like, you're taking your whole day for this. I mean, and obviously you're being very productive with it. You see Christoph, and that's awesome. But like, it means a lot that you came to talk to me.
Yeah.
For my new passion, which is I want to learn more about people that inspire me. You're definitely one of those people.
Thanks, bro.
I mean, really. Like,
I had an awesome
I
time.
I say that genuinely. You come on the Cell Boat. You actually started the Cell Club. Like, that was you, because you're like, Paul, come on, let's go. And then I'm like, all right, Rob, relax. Let's do it. So we did it. We had that one day where we sailed and it was like 20 knots.
Bro,
25. That was insane.
That was my favorite. Yeah, we were all crammed on there like sardines.
Yeah,
but
that was
bro,
so much fun.
That's what I'm talking about. Like when I talk about sailing, all the other trips we've done, that was sailing.
For
like
sure.
we were like in the thick of it, 45 degrees. God, I mean, it probably wasn't 45, but it was like,
dude, the front of the boat was going in the water. It was gnarly. There was nobody out there.
bro, it was just so much fun. And that fear, like when you're flirting with fear, that's what like gets me tingly. So actually, to answer that goosebump question, flirting with fear, you know, actually was going to start the fear club once, where every month we do something scary. And I might actually incorporate that. Maybe I'll do the fear and adventure. I don't know, man.
I recall that one time we were sailing, and I was on the top of the, you know, because there's like two sides, right? And
By the wheel.
You know, obviously, captaining the boat.
I was in the
You were right. You
in the
were right.
hallway.
You're right in the hallway, looking at us, and we were like this, and you were like this, and you're just smiling, and I was just like, holy shit! I see everybody down here. I'm up here. I was like, what did I get myself into?
Well, I was just dying, dude, because I was like, when I saw your face when we hit that like maximum angle, I could see the
fear.
Oh no, I've never done this before. I've never been this like tilted before, and I could see that, and that I was like, we're really sailing right now, because Paul's out here and he's been doing this for a year or two, or I'm not sure how long at the time, but I was like, I feel like this is raising the threshold of the angles he's ever experienced. It was very windy day.
And I was on mushrooms too.
Oh god.
So just like the intensity of that. You know?
Yeah.
It was scary. There's nobody else out there, but that was a lot of fun.
But dude, it's the same thing. You say I started the sail club. Like that's kind of my MO. Like I have friends that I went to college with, and we hung out 3, 4, 5 days a week. We'd go to clubs together in Fresno. We were best buds. And then I moved to LA, and then we see each other once every 5 years. And they all live in LA too. And so like 2 years ago, I go, guys, we had such a bond in college, and we lost that. You have a family, you don't have a family, but why can't we find time to hang out maybe 2 or 3 times a year? I go, I'll set up golf and we'll play. And now me and 3 of my best friends, every other month we golf, whether it's LA, whether it's Inland Empire.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Jimmy told me, he goes, bro, people want to do stuff, but nobody wants to set it up.
Yeah,
nobody wants to organize it. He goes, but if you are willing to organize it, you could have the hugest friend like group, because people they're dying to look for something to say yes to, but no one wants to organize it. And so
it's a lot of time and effort.
And that's why like I've kind of taken the lead on a lot of the things in my life, because if I want to spend time with the people that I want to spend time with, I've just come to realize that I've got to organize the event. And I'm happy to do it. So
and you can feel it. All right. The last thing, this podcast is to help guys out, you know, and I'm sure a lot of guys will be inspired by your story. What is one thing that you can tell somebody that is in a dark fucking place and they're feeling stuck? What is one piece of advice that you can give a guy to get unstuck and to just move the needle just 1%? Because that 1% will turn into 20, 30, 40, 50, 60%. You know what I'm saying? What is that one thing? What's that one advice that like you can give them?
I mean, the born again Christian in me wants to say, find God. You know, read the Bible. All the answers are in the Bible. Like if you read the Bible and you apply the principles you read in the Bible, your life will improve. But that's very ambiguous. What I think would help is community. You know, that's what would help. If you're in a dark place, the last thing you want to do is do it on your own. That's the best advice I can give you, is don't do it by yourself. Whether you find a men's group, whether you go to AA, whether you find a church, whether you reach out to a best friend and say, can we hang out? Can we spend some time together? I think the best advice I could give you is don't do it alone.
Ask for help.
Ask for help. Ask for help. Ask and you shall receive. You would be surprised how many people are in the same situation that you are in, but you would never know that because you never asked or they never talked about it. But like everyone's dealing with stuff, and you know, you've heard it before. It's like, you know, love people because you never know what's going on in their life. And everyone just puts this, you know, Tom Ferry talks about all the time, like no one cares. No one cares that the market is high. No one cares the interest rates. No one cares that you got sick. No one cares that your dog might have ran away. No one cares. Like at the end of the day, you got to show up. And I think we've been so conditioned to show up that everyone's suppressing these feelings and doing everything on their own. So as vulnerable as it may be, or as hard as it may be, I think just community is so important. And you can do anything through people, through support, and I think through God. Yeah, man.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I love you, dude.
Thanks, guys, for watching. That was an awesome interview. Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother. All right.
My pleasure.